Good afternoon from the Superbook.com sports desk. I'm Joe Hunk. The spring practice season is over in college football, and ESPN just dropped their top 25 rankings. There are 6 SEC teams that they have in their top 25, and Tennessee comes in at number 11. What could be the biggest shocker of the NFL offseason? The New York Jets have signed Randall Cobb to a 1-year contract, making him the 4th ex-Green Bay Packer player to sign with the Jets, and obviously the 5th overall, being that Nathaniel Hackett, their offensive coordinator, also used to be a Green Bay Packer. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, as well as home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, what up, Nashville? 3HL is on the air. 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Yesterday, Babs complained about the cold wind, even though it was 64 degrees outside, and she had a sweatshirt on and a pullover and a sweater. And
it's still cold today.
Her winter coat.
I mean, I'm just being honest.
Slay
it's not as bad.
Slay and I were on the Lanai. I like to stand out there and kind of watch the cars go by on Division. Over by the Prince window. What's the name of that place? The Electric
Jane?
Electric Jane, yeah. And I was getting hot. Like the sun was beating down on my baseball cap.
No, it's because
the air was getting warm. The beer was getting flat. Looking for a girl. I ran into a guy. His name was MCA. I said, howdy. He said, hi. Welcome to 3HL.
That's how we'll crank this up.
Anybody name the group?
Yeah,
Beastie Boys.
Boom, Babs! Look at Babs!
Look at Babette. Look at Babette.
I'm on my game today. It's only going to get worse.
She is on Davenport.
It's only going to go down from here.
That's Bonk. That's Bonk. Twitch, please. Twitch, please. Twitch, please.
Oh, Babsy, we've been worried about you.
I'm good. No concussion. I made it through the night. We're good.
You still have like a little red mark on your forehead.
Hey, shut it.
I'm just saying. Like, what do you want me to say? It's
no,
not
I
there?
Don't.
Did you put makeup on it? For those that don't know, Babs hit her head on the table yesterday.
Holio.
I don't know why. Were you bending down to get something out of your backpack, or did you drop something on the floor?
No, I was bending down to plug in my charger, my phone charger. I mean, something I do every single day.
I mean, it was like
just a little misguided. The show was.
It was, It was.
It was like that.
Yeah, it was like somebody fell. But she didn't.
It hurt.
You told me a little while ago to watch the movie Plane with Gerard. Was it Gerard Butler that was in that?
Airplane, that has Gerard Butler, the newer one.
The Truth.
Yes.
Not Airplane. It's called Plane.
Yeah, Plane. It's Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler, The Truth.
There's a plane crash. They try to take over the island.
That movie was amazing.
Who told you to watch it?
You.
Plane?
Yeah. It was like 3 weeks ago you said that.
I probably did.
Yeah, you did.
I tell you to watch anything with Gerard Butler in it.
Yeah, he's great.
I've never seen him do anything that's I ain't going to jump
I'll watch anything with Gerard Butler in it.
Thank you, Babsy.
Why? Because he's such a great actor?
Confirmed.
Yep.
He delivers his lines very well?
Confirmed.
Oh, yeah.
That little accent.
He's easy on the eye.
So is Ron Slay.
Bonus.
He's bringing sexy back.
That's right.
This kind got no roof.
That airplane had no roof either. So
got
it
no
didn't.
roof. No roof.
I guess it had a roof. It didn't have doors.
No roof.
Hey, who said no doors?
I like that movie because it was like it was unexpected. All of it. You know, you really couldn't tell what was going to happen, other than well, I won't give that part away. But yeah, so that was good. Anyway, what's up, Hunk?
Sup?
So
You sleeping okay, Hunk?
Nope.
Nope.
How old's that?
How old is Andy now?
She is getting on. We're Wednesday, so we're actually exactly 3 weeks.
We're Wednesday.
Yeah, it's Wednesday. It's 3
Babs
weeks.
hates getting those questions, but then she asks those questions.
I know.
Like,
I would have been like, hell if I know.
When's your
She's
anniversary?
a baby.
When's your anniversary, Babs?
You're not asking me, are you?
Mine was last
no,
Saturday,
that's
as a
just-
matter of fact.
When's Mother's Day, Babs?
May 14th.
Yeah, like I usually crank up, you know what I mean, around this time, and I got an announcement.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
Announcements are sponsored by your mom and them.
By your mom and them. And I talked to my mom before. So, listen.
Shout outs are sponsored by Unk down the street.
That's right.
Yeah.
Unc and them down the street. So
Unk and them.
yeah, Unc and them.
The thing about like
NEM.
your mom and them is always like pretty much the same crew. Unc's got a different crew all the
Man,
time.
ain't
You
no
never know.
man.
You never know who's there.
I ain't no telling who chipped in to get Unc shout out sponsored, but yeah, he's here. But this is my thing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. See, to what Babs just said, she knows when Mother's Day is. So I want to go out on a limb and take it a step further this year. Instead of being on the crusade, I more so want to get a petition signed because no, don't do that, Babs. I'm serious. I want to know. It's special to have it on Sunday, Mother's Day, right? It's cool. That's your day. You know what I mean? You get a whole lot. Right?
Isn't Father's Day on Sunday, too?
Yes, and that's my problem.
You don't like it on Sunday?
No, I want to sign a petition because if it's for the fathers and the men that are acting like fathers in your family or your space, you're growing up, we need to have it on Saturdays. Because what do fathers love most? Y'all ain't gonna do nothing but go buy some apron and some barbecue and grill and tools anyway. So it might as well be on Saturday where we get to sit back, kick back, watch some kind of sport. There ought to be a sport that's shown. It ought to be an event that night, and it ought to be grilling. And you can only really do that on Saturdays, and it means the most. So I like to void
Here's
Sundays
why.
from here on out.
Okay, here's why.
Okay, thank you.
Because while you're grilling all day, you want to be drinking all day.
Yes.
So then you're affected on Sunday as opposed to Monday.
Come on, y'all. See?
Because we all know Dawn was affected on Monday
man.
and Tuesday, actually.
See what I'm saying? But they can handle it different. We don't want to handle it. Like, we want to wake up when we want to wake
We
up.
don't want to handle
No, we
it.
want to handle that on Monday. We want to wake up when we want to wake up. We might want to start off with a little Bloody Mary or another brew to get the friedness down.
A zing zang.
Or a zigzag. Not a candy bar.
Or Bloody Mary mix.
Bloody Mary mix.
Or Bloody Mary mix. That's what I'm saying.
By the way,
So,
Zing Zang is the best
man.
Bloody Mary mix.
tap in with us, man. We can unite on this one. I think we kind of lost as far as getting an extra day throughout the year. So I think we lost that battle. I had a couple of people come back to me on that and was like, we ain't doing that. So that was torn up. And it didn't get stamped or the sign of approval. So I'm going for this. We want to keep our one day for 365 days a year, 366 on the leap year. On leap years, give us the 66th day. That's fine. We'll accept that. And also move our day from Sunday to Saturday. Not Saturday. Saturday. We want Saturday for men. Boom. Stamp it.
When
Run
is
it up the
Father's Day?
chain.
I don't even know what month Father's
See,
Day is.
this is the problem. This is
It's
the problem.
June.
No, you know what? It ain't
It's
got-
US Open.
We ain't got to explain that to her no more because it's going to be on Saturday. She ain't going to be studying us anyway. We're just going to have a good day. All the men unite.
I mean, that's fine.
On the
Whatever.
hill.
Switch it to Saturday. That's fine. We'll
First
just
of all,
make
it's too
sure that
easy.
your barbecue apron gets delivered on Friday instead of Saturday. Moving on.
No, we want some kind of special sauce too now. Don't just bring us no apron no more.
No sauce for you.
We got to find him a sauce belt.
That's going to be our next gift. Maybe that's your wedding gift.
Sauce belt.
Sauce belt.
Coming down the aisle with a sauce
You
belt.
can watch the show live on YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
John writes, did you guys get Babs a helmet?
No, I need one.
No.
I cleaned up my garage this morning. Baby Babs has like a little bike helmet. I was like, man,
I could use that.
I kind of need that. Although it wouldn't have helped me in this
Yeah.
incident.
That would have been funny if you'd have come in with a bike helmet on today. That would have been a strong play.
Should
Well,
have
you
done
might
it.
need
One
one
that
of
was
those-
too small for me. That'd be
Yeah.
perfect.
She might need a military helmet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To come down a little bit.
To protect.
Yeah. Like the little bowl on your head.
Need something.
You give me the sauce belt?
I mean, she's already
We'll
packing,
check.
so might as well get a military helmet.
Might as well.
Add it all in.
3HL presented by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling,
Yeah,
springhillac.com. Coming up today, guest-wise, Coach Mack, presented by Farm Bureau Health Plans, breaks down the Titans draft class. We'll do that here in about 10 minutes. Titans' 7th-round pick, wide receiver Colton Dowell at 4:30. from
I'm
Wilson
excited about this
Central
one.
High School in Lebanon. How about that?
Yeah.
Todd Furman at 5 o'clock. He was gracious enough to move for Colton Dowell. And a few things to get into with Todd Furman. Kentucky Derby.
Mm-hmm.
NFL win totals. Did they change based on the draft class for certain teams? We'll ask him about that. Also, Ohio has halted betting on Alabama baseball based on suspicious activity.
Ohio?
The state of Ohio. You can't bet on Alabama baseball in the state of Ohio right now because of suspicious activity.
How
Is it a mole?
random is that?
It's an Ohioan mole running around in Alabama.
We'll ask Todd Furman about that. What about moles? You ever have moles? Those things are tough to deal with because when you have to kill a mole, they're kind of big.
No,
and it's tough.
I don't think I've ever seen them.
You just hit them in the head with a shovel.
Okay,
Do you have
stop.
a one-eyed mole?
No, he's a groundhog.
Groundhog.
Well, I believe he's probably in that tunnel in the sky now.
He's in the big mole hole.
Don had the one-eyed groundhog that never saw a shadow because he kept running around in a circle.
So he got
Bless
some
his
glasses.
sweetheart.
Matt Miller at 5:20 with ESPN. ESPN NFL draft analyst and insider at NFL Draft Scout. He will also break down the Titans draft class. I found he had a 398 player ranking.
Mm.
And it's funny, the 6th round pick was rated higher than the 3rd round pick the Titans took.
That's the tackle.
Yep.
A lot of people raved about
A
that
lot
tackle.
of people saying that's a steal.
Yep. Jalen Duncan. He was supposed to be a day 2 guy if you look around at mock drafts, but he fell into the 6th pick. He's got him ranked as the 99th best player that was in the draft. Tyjae Spears, who was taken in the 3rd round, was 108. Josh Wiley, who was taken in the 5th round, was 156.
Now you see why these grades were high.
I know, but some of the Titans.
I think that
getting
pick,
A's.
I think
But
the
some of
grade
the-
guys, I don't know how you do that at this point, but I think they like that pick, yeah.
Yeah, but some of the negative on him is
Doesn't finish blocks.
and doesn't have that dog in him. I have an issue with that.
I think it's going to be a coaching staff that's going to have an issue with that. They'll get that out real quick.
Yeah, or
Or-
home.
He gone. Yeah. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. He got the size for it.
Yeah, come on.
That's tough.
Just get a little mean.
So
Nasty.
what I heard about him is he's very athletic and he can play in. So he's another one of these guys that can do multiple things. Like they kept talking about this and they keep bringing people in that fit what they've said.
Yep.
So if you want to look at people on the roster currently that don't fit what they said, just look at the roster in a couple of years, see what happens.
One of the things taken away from the season, we got to go predictability when you run lineups, formations out there. So I would think that could take away from it.
Lord.
Yeah, I'm just
They were
saying.
the most predictable offense in the
Yep.
entire universe of football last year.
Universe of football.
universe.
You've seen a lot of XFL football.
Oh, my God. They're not even that predictable.
No, the play to
Yeah.
Javonte Payton, the 59-yard touchdown to put him
Yeah.
in the championship game, like that was beautiful. I would have loved to have seen something like that. They went 5 wide. They had the inside guy cut. The safety comes up. That enables Javonte Payton,
get
the
behind.
second guy on the right side, free reign in the middle.
It's
That
on.
would have been a cool play.
And Javonte's fast.
Yeah.
Lightning
Getting out
fast.
of there.
Parker on Twitter, you can tweet us at 3HL1045. We'd appreciate you following us as Blair Durham did just now. Look at that. Hey,
Hi,
what's
Blair.
up? Slate casually dropping in the hungover zigzag. Colt 45 and 2 zing zangs may be a new song. Jake in Brentwood said that one time that he liked to have a Colt 45 and 2
He's
zigzags.
going into his weekend.
Baby, it's all he needs.
But his weekend starts on Tuesday. He
Right.
calls every Tuesday and he says happy weekend.
Yep.
Have a good weekend
And
on
we do.
Tuesday.
And we do.
I mean, every day's the same. Listen, man, you get one life.
Love it.
615-737-1045, always
Live
the
it.
number. Coach Mack, presented by Farm Bureau Health Plans, breaks down the Titans draft class next on 3HL.
What's happening, good people? You know what it is. You know who it is. It's me, Ron Slay. Superbook is what I'm about to tell you about, because if you pay attention, I'm telling you early in the show to pay attention to the end of the show where 3HL stays on Zone TV. Me and Yoro, we let you know exactly what's going on with the parlay. And yes, it did hit last night. I know, yeah, you like baseball, hockey, basketball, all combined. Well, boom. It hit, people. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You got so much going on that I couldn't even keep up with it.
Yeah,
but you did hit.
I get out there. I get out there sometime, Euro. There ain't no need to rein me in. Just let me go on and go.
That was a successful night.
Yes, it was. And you can have a successful night, but you first got to go download the Superbook Sports app and visit superbook.com to wager and win today. They got the trusted names in Vegas back there making all of the odds and making it all right for you. It's going to be easy if you listen to the show. But if not, well, you can go home a loser, or you can ride with Big Slay. Visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Book it.
Bill on Facebook says 2 zigzags is a bit extreme. Maybe that's too extreme. This is not. Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits. They can hook you up. You can get set up. And here's the thing. Every Wednesday is senior day. So if you're out there rolling around and you can get that senior discount, go buy Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits and get that senior discount and just pack it all away. Just load up the cabinet at home, and you can do it today. Maryland Farms, WS.com is the website. 101 Creekside Crossing in Brentwood by the Publix. Make sure that Jason and his crew help you out, and they will do that when you walk in the door. And if you're the kind of guy that just knows what he wants and wants to go pick it out and go to the counter and leave, they'll definitely do that for you. They'll offer you that opportunity. But if you want to branch out, maybe ask about some different types of bourbon, maybe that, or different brands of bourbon that you might want, or craft beer, or tequila, or wine, they will be able to help you out. Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits, locally owned, serving Middle Tennessee for more than 17 years. Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. Closed on Sundays. Delivery through the Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits app, so get that downloaded. Curbside pickup available as well. If you're looking for the perfect gift for a housewarming, birthday, thank you, Mother's Day, graduation, well, college graduation. Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits has customized baskets for you to grab and go with wine, spirits, local olives, chocolates. Perfect gift for that cocktail lover. Check them out in Maryland Farms, 101 Creekside Crossing in Brentwood by Publix. That's Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits. 3HL 1045 The Zone. Brett Doherty, Todd Davenport, Ron Slay with you at 3HL 1045. At the Ron Slay. Is that what you are now?
Yes, the Ron Slay. And then THEE on Instagram.
At Don Davenport TN. At Joe Hunk.
I should have been TN too.
At Brent Doherty. Coach Mack joins us now, presented by Farm Bureau Health Plans. Coach, what's up? How are you?
Yeah, first of all, those are perfect tags for y'all because there's only one of each of you. Nobody else could be one. You don't have to say one of two. Y'all are all unique. So good tags for you.
There's some dancer with the same name that I have, and I got to Twitter before he did, but he got to Instagram before I did.
A dancer.
So Instagram, I'm Brett Doherty 3HL. Yeah, some dancer, actor guy. I don't know.
What kind of dancer? Not a pole dancer, right?
Damn, Coach.
I don't know. A Chippendales dancer, Magic Mike dancer. You might want to use that tag sometime.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to search him now, but like all my stuff pops up, so I guess that's good for me.
Well, see, you've surpassed the dancer. That's a plus.
Moving on up.
Yeah, like George and Wheezy. All right, draft is in. Man, I loved. Let me start with this: the Titans radio crew down at 6th and Peabody freaking rocked the building. That was amazing.
Well, that's very kind of you to say. You guys know. Not just because. Well, we'd put a lot of work into that. Rhett and I do. We're a draft party of two, and so since January, we put a lot of work into that because when you're doing it live, as you guys well know, you got to have information right there at your fingertips. And with 41 trades this year, you had to be on it. Mike Keith is a tremendous ringmaster. He can keep it rolling. But you've got to be able to have the info at the tip of your tongue, and so that's important. That's why the board that we put together is so important. That I shared with you guys after the first day. The board is so important, the vertical and horizontal, so that you will at least be able to find guys within pods when they come up, because we have no idea who people are going to take, but we do want to have the information. So it's very kind of you to say that. I thought it was great that Ron Slay was down there. Joe Hunk was down there with us. It was a tremendous party there at Old Smoky and 6th and Peabody. So the whole thing was a lot of fun.
The energy was great. And the best line of the night, Coach Mack, the Titans were getting ready to pick everybody that didn't get to make it. And what Coach Mack told them was, the Titans are getting ready to pick. So Titans fans, tighten the hell up. I said,
I did.
It's on, baby. It's on.
Yeah, I had to bring that out, and nobody has said anything bad about it. Everybody liked it. So, but I thought it was pretty appropriate at the time. Hey, Ron Slay, guys, you guys would have loved it. Was back there in the corner with his posse, I guess, from Buffalo Wild Wings when y'all do your remote.
Yeah,
Chain game.
They had some of the biggest big bling chains on. You could have seen them everywhere. And the first thing I said is, whoever's making these, I want one. And I want one better than Slay's. And that's all I'm saying.
I want one too.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, let's go back to pick number 2, and the commissioner announces that the Texans take C.J. Stroud, and there were boos throughout the room. There was a big reaction. How surprised were you that happened?
Not at all. Yeah. They had to take a quarterback, right?
That's what we kept arguing.
That's what we kept
Unless
saying.
You want
they
Davis
were
Mills.
dumb to not.
You guys said it the whole time. And look, there is so much smoke that goes on before a draft. You guys know it, and none of it means anything. Look at these mock drafts; they're all trash. Now when you've got your true evaluators that come out, and you see how people's boards were set. And guys, honest to God, I've been in 4 draft rooms in 5 different cities for 31 years. And let me just say this for every team that drafts. I've never, ever heard once uttered in a draft room, hey, guys, let's take this person. I don't think they can help us, but let's take them. So.
Well, and it was smart for them to do it the way they did it because they knew they wanted to trade up to 3. So you had to take C.J. Watt to not Will Anderson with the 2 pick because at that point the Titans are in play to maybe take that trade for that 3rd pick. So they handled it correctly. But the Titans stick and stay, and Peter Skoronski falls to 11. And they're elated.
Well, sure. I mean, look, we started vetting this a long time ago, guys. And when we first came on, one of the first segments we did, and I remember it distinctly, was on offensive tackles. And I think all of us said, this guy is the dude. This guy is the most complete dude in the draft, in the offensive line. You're going to have discrepancy whether he's a tackle or a guard, depending on what you want to do. I don't care. What I said was to Rhett Bryan, and when we were doing a podcast, and he said, well, where do you play him? I said, don't worry about where you play him. If you can get him, and then figure it out.
You know what,
He's
Pat?
going to play. He's going to play for you from the jump.
You know what Pat Fitzgerald told us? Like, Don got Pat Fitzgerald on, and he was phenomenal. He called us from a Northwestern softball game, and it was great.
Wow.
He said, if he's not an all-pro offensive tackle, that means he's an all-pro offensive guard.
Mm-hmm.
Look, and Pat Fitzgerald is a legit dude. Guys, y'all got to – and let me just say this, and then we'll keep on talking about the draft. But, yeah, look, you got a real asset there in Dawn Davenport. I use her, during the draft because she meets with all of these coaches, and she is in meetings and on the sideline with these players. I mean, that's great insight. It really is. But to get the head – and Pat Fitzgerald, come on, how long has he been there? A long time. He knows good.
16, yeah, I think.
Yeah, so figure that out as to what he's done with the Northwestern program. So
and they always have offensive linemen too.
Always, and if they're going there, offensive linemen, they're going to have to be able to play in the Big Ten, and they're going to have to be smart to get in there. Mm-hmm. I was in Chicago for 10 years. I know what the requirements are to get into that school down there by Lake Michigan, and they're not easy.
Yeah.
So I've said that I think Skoronski is a left tackle, that he can handle it. Fitzgerald said he thinks he can handle it. What's your take when you look at the tape?
Well, I think he can. I mean, I absolutely think he can. The whole arm thing, Michael Roos was a pretty good tackle, wasn't he?
Yeah, his were 32.
Yeah, shorter
exactly.
arms. Yep.
No, exactly. And I can still remember Mike Munchak, when Floyd and Jeff Fisher sent him up there to look at him, and he came back, of course we had we still had measuring tapes for arms back then, and he said, I don't care. He said he can play, and he can play tackle, and he can play wherever you want. He's a good player. Well, Munch was right.
What was he, like 4-time Pro Bowler?
Yeah.
I mean, like, ridiculous.
But even
So
better
solid.
than that, Don, he was such a solid human being in the organization and in the room.
Yeah.
And he played every snap. Every snap he was here, he played. And I mean, what a solid person he is in the community now. But I mean, those kind of guys can really be benchmarks for your team for a long time if you get the right guys on your offensive line. That's important.
One thing though is you pay a guy $29 million and $13 guaranteed to come play left tackle. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Yeah,
that's fine. If you know what, if he slides into guard, you're still gonna be paying him money. It doesn't matter to me. Here's what I want. I want the 5 best dudes on the field.
All right, hit us with Will Levis. We were talking to Rand Carthon, and he said that they were really surprised about him being available in the second round, and that they did try to trade up into the back part of the first round, but that they were excited to get him in the second round, the first round grade guy.
Well, when you start looking at it, I mean, really, when he started to drop, then you started looking at the slots that needed quarterbacks. There weren't that many.
Yes, that's what he said. Yep.
Yeah, and if you knew if he went past that spot, I mean, we were looking at our board, and I was going, whoa, if he doesn't go here, or if somebody doesn't come up here, and the price is increasing to come up there, then he's got a chance, and sure enough, he did. And so, I mean, they did the right thing. I mean, they did absolutely the right thing. And so, here you go with it. As far as value picks on the board, I just sent Ron Slay something that the Athletic put out, which is a very credible source of information.
Yeah, we're going to do that at 3:45. I'm glad you brought that up.
Well, take a look at that, because I've talked to those people already. I mean, it's legit, and that's why that vertical and horizontal board, guys, is so important, because you get those pods. If you get them set right, then you're not ever reaching, and reaching in a draft is more detrimental sometimes than taking the wrong person.
Now, I was watching you guys on Friday, and when Tajay Spears was on the board and the Titans were back with a pick, you started to see my guy, Red Gordy B, started to bubble. He started to bubble a little bit, Coach Mack. He started to bubble, and he thought he was going to get his draft crush. Tell us a little bit about Tyjae Spears.
Well, Tyjae Spears is a ball player. And look, the knee is the knee. And so they vetted that. And so the knee's the knee. But as a football player, as a 3-down back, this guy can do it. Rhett has been in love with this guy since before the Senior Bowl. And then we go to the Senior Bowl, and then every day, he and Ramon are sitting there talking about Tyjae Spears. And I mean, this has been a guy, and before, right before it happened, Mike Key said, "You know what, Rhett? I think you." And Rhett said, "Stop! Don't tease me. Just don't tease me. Just don't stop." Because he was sitting there, and we knew the value on the board. But yeah, Rhett Bryan was. I mean, I can't wait for the first time that they meet. It's going to be like they have found each other, on long lost genealogy charts, because he loves the guy.
Yes, he does. So
good player.
So, Coach,
good player.
Do you have anybody to relate him to that that has played without ACLs? I mean, it'll be
Frank
different.
Gore.
Okay, there you
Frank
go.
Gore.
There you go. He played 45 years.
Yeah, really.
He played for 45 years without one.
Right. Yep.
Now it takes a different type of athlete to be able to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But clearly, with what he's done, look, they're not going to pick anybody that they don't that medically, has not been cleared, and everybody's medical evaluation is different, and everybody's body's different. So, I mean, it didn't seem to bother him in that Cotton Bowl against USC, and it didn't seem to bother him all year. So, let's go.
All right, let's go to Josh Wiley, the tight end at Cincinnati, 6'7", 250 pounds, 4.6, 940. Productive his last 3 years, 86 receptions, 1,011 yards, and 15 touchdowns.
Well, I think this is a guy that's going to give them a chance. I saw Delaney Walker today at an event. This will give them a chance to use multiple tight end sets, and it really will. And this guy needs to get more functional strength. I mean, he really does. But I mean, he's got a frame to put it on. He's one of those guys that once he starts unwinding, he can run. He's got good hands. He's a good, smart worker. Now, Mike Vrabel with Luke Fickell has got the inside on these guys all the way. And so that to me made sense just because of the way, everybody's using multiple tight ends now. And so the way that Chig developed during the season, you needed to find somebody that could counterbalance him and could be somewhat of a threat on the other side, maybe running different types of routes, but be somewhat of a threat. The other thing that this guy does, when you watch the film, guys, he can move back in the backfield and be an F when you're in that 12 personnel. And when you do that, what that does, all of a sudden, it completely takes the eye discipline of your linebackers to a different spot, from a 1-back to a 2-back set. And so I can see them using him in quite a few different ways.
Mm-hmm. That's why kind of would it put you in a mindset, not to this much, but what's his name? Juszczyk for San Francisco?
Not as thick. This guy's 6'7".
Yeah.
6'7".
Yeah.
I mean, and so that's going to be a little bit of an unusual back there. But anytime you're moving a guy, from the tight end position back to that F position, and then moving him across, what you try to do is threaten the eye discipline of your second level people with the play action stuff, and then also depending on who you can get him matched up with on the play action stuff. That will be interesting to watch. Okay. I'm looking forward to standing on the practice field, and watching and see what they're going to do with this guy.
Yeah.
All right, hit us with Jalen Duncan, because I go back and look at all these mocks now, Coach, and he was a day 2 guy projected by almost everybody, including Matt Miller, who's going to be on the show at 520. He actually had him rated higher than the running back from Tulane, who was taken in the 3rd round. What do you see there? 6'6", 306.
Athletic. I mean, it's all because of the feet and the athleticism in the move. I mean, when at the Senior Bowl, he was the guy, when we were watching, that you kind of said, okay, the movement sticks out. Big man that can move. Okay, a lot of starts, has a lot of starts. There at Maryland, needs again more functional strength. And here's what will help him too: some of the technique work, the technique work will help him quite a bit. You go from being coached 20 hours a week to being coached 20 hours a day when you start making a living doing this. Technique work's going to help him. Functional strength, technique work, but he's got a big frame and he's athletic. Light feet for a big dude.
So I guess one of the knocks on him was basically missing that dog mentality kind of thing.
Yeah, well, and to me, I mean, I haven't met the guy yet,
right?
But you guys know what this culture is here, right?
I mean, you better not come in with that mentality because you won't last long.
That's addressed immediately.
100% right, and I'm sure they had those conversations if that was leaning in that way when they. I mean, this was a 30 visit guy, so this is a guy they vetted pretty hard.
Yeah. Interesting.
All right, hit us with Colton Dowell. He's on the show today. Wide receiver, UT Martin from Lebanon, Wilson Central High School, 6'3", 215, 24 years old. Had a huge game against Tennessee that everybody's talking about. Obviously, we watched that. Had almost 100 yards in the first half. Affected the first half of that game. What do you think about him?
Got to be a great indicator of how important these local visits are and these workouts with these local kids that the league implemented several years ago. Because, you know, of course, look, he's got all the numbers at UT Martin, right? But then when you can get him in and put him through those athletic tests and see, I mean, you're talking about a 40-plus inch vertical jumper that runs 4.44 and has got length in the seventh round. Give me a load of those guys. You know what I'm saying? And plus, he's a local product. I mean, how does it get any better than that? Now, I was in charge of a lot of rookie classes in 31 years, and I would tell them, however you got here, you're in the door. You have a seat right now. It's up to you to keep that seat. I'm excited for this young kid to see what he can do. But imagine how excited he and his family is with this turn of events on the seventh round of the draft.
Not to mention wide open because they sure are lacking some depth at that position. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like there's an opportunity, you know.
Catch the ball. Get open and catch the ball. I mean, that to me would be the first thing I would tell him.
Real simple. I like that, Coach Mack.
Coach Mack, presented by Farm Bureau Health Plans. Slade, did you have anything else?
No.
Okay, we're good. All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach Mack.
Guys, y'all are the best, and I'm sure we'll be talking again. See you guys.
Appreciate it, Coach.
There he is, Coach Mack, every Wednesday at 3:20. When we come back, the Athletic did rank the draft classes. You're going to want to hear where they put the Titans. That's next, 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
NBA playoffs. Yes, they are here. You can turn all those crossovers into cash with FanDuel Sportsbook. All you have to do is visit FanDuel.com/Dawn right now. Place a $5 bet, and then you get an instant $150 back in bonus bets. And that's if you win or lose. No better place to bet all of the playoff action than on America's #1 sportsbook. I'll tell you why I love FanDuel. Because the app is super easy. You pull it up on your phone. All your bets are right there, easy to make, and there's even some pre-made bets if you want to just go ahead and click on those. I love the ease of FanDuel Sportsbook. Go to FanDuel.com/Dawn and sign up to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet your first $5. FanDuel is an official sports betting partner of the NBA. You do have to be 21 and older and present in Tennessee. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. Full terms. FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call or text the Tennessee Red Line 1-800-889-9789.
What's happening, people? Now, when you've been carrying weight, I mean, just a little bit overweight, as long as I've been, you can kind of get used to the difficulties of carrying around that extra weight. Now, after losing 40 pounds, thanks to Awaken 180 at-home program, Well, I now realize how much that weight was affecting me on a daily basis. I'm talking about getting up ready to go, not having to just sit there on the side of the bed like, come on, man. The little aches and pains from the tendonitis and things in your knee, inflammation, all of that just kind of evaporates with the weight. So being down 40 pounds, I notice how everything is a lot easier. Like I explained, you worried about the cost, though. Is that what it is? Well, don't be, because it's worth it. How do you plan on using your tax refund dollars this year? That's what I need to know. For improvements, you want to improve something? Improve yourself, improve your health, a one-time investment for a lifetime of benefits. If you have weight to lose, if you want to improve your health, we'll dive on into it. Reserve your Awaken 180 at-home consultation today by calling 844-346-1800, 844-346-1800, or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
3HL 1045 The Zone. Glad you're with us. Happy Wednesday. Tight 7th round draft pick, Colton Dowell from UT Martin and from Lebanon, Wilson Central High School, will join us at 4:30 today. Todd Furman at 5 o'clock. Matt Miller, ESPN NFL draft analyst and insider at 5:20. He had the Titans' 6th rank pick rated ahead of the Titans' 3rd round pick. We'll ask him about what they got with that pick and all the other picks at 5:20. NBA action, Lakers picked up a road win in Game 1 against Golden State, 117-112. Have you changed your opinion about how that series may go based on that game?
How you asking me?
Yep. I'm not asking Dawn.
No,
Sorry,
I
Dawn.
have not. I still think the series goes 7. I still think it goes 7. I think they were able to steal one game.
Is that a bad joke?
I just
Sorry.
I just want to know if can Anthony Davis continue this. But I will say
45 minutes last night.
a first-time coach in Darvin Ham did a phenomenal job of scheming the way they were playing Golden State by being able to play LeBron and AD and them being able to rest on defense and defend the basket. That was different.
30 points, 23 rebounds, 4 block shots, including a big one late. LeBron, 22 points, 11 rebounds. His shooting touch has left him. Is that because he's tired?
I ain't going to say it's tired. I just think, man, it's just the point of the ball going in. You just got to keep shooting. I think the good thing you take from it is in the past, LeBron would have stopped shooting. You know what I'm saying? This time he kept shooting.
1 for 8 from 3. Steph, 27, 6 of 13
Wait, why is
from
that
3.
a good thing?
Because you
Shoot
started
your
getting your
way out
head.
of
Yeah,
it?
you started getting your head.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like Dylan Brooks.
Both teams. This is interesting.
Oh, by the way, just before you get in there, to this, like we were watching Shaq and Barkley.
Yeah, my boys. I love that
And
show.
they were asked what happens to Brooks. And basically they both said China, Japan, somewhere overseas, as in he ain't getting back in the league.
It's going to be tough. I think he gets another shot, but golly.
That's like harsh.
That circulates, man. If a team tell you we don't want you back in this place by
Under any condition.
if you two are the owner of a team and I say that and we all in cahoots in a sense as owners, why would y'all want him in y'all building? There's got to be something else going on. It's just weird though, because that's who Memphis was.
I mean, he's good
They was talking
enough.
Ja Morant said there was too much going on off the floor. We need to be more disciplined as a team. And he was talking about himself too.
Yeah.
But I thought that was an interesting comment coming from clearly a leader.
Yeah, you the superstar. Your leash is way longer. The stuff I get to do off the court, you don't get to do, Dylan Brooks. And the way I get to talk, you don't get to talk, brother.
That's
just
true.
what it is. I hate it. That's the pecking order, though.
That is how it works. All right, The Athletic has NFL draft classes ranked.
Yeah.
I still don't know how people do this based on where we sit right now, but you asked
It's all opinion.
You asked me and Dawn to guess who the number 1 class was. I said Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Where was Detroit on that list?
Detroit is ranked 32nd in draft class.
You were close.
Negative 192.2
Listen,
points.
in the name of comedy, that could not have been better.
About as close as the Titans' offense was to being number 1 last year.
That's right.
Absolutely
So
right.
Dawn said, what did Dawn say?
I said Pittsburgh.
And they were ranked what?
They are ranked second with 105.5
So then
points.
I circled back with a second pick.
Mm-hmm.
The Atlanta Falcons, and they were at least top 10. They were number 9.
Yeah, they were number 9 with 6 picks, so that was pretty good,
Who
y'all.
do they have as the number 1 class?
The number 1 class, and it is made up of the player's overall pick number, the steal or reach in the first round, theoretically more impactful than a selection. The Titans with 6 picks, 104.2 points, 17.4 points per pick.
Wow.
Now, to add to that, they also add up the top 10 with the steals in the draft. You know who number 1 was? It was the Lions. Okay, so they got a steal. Eagles had 2 in the top 10. Jalen Carter at number 9 and Nolan Smith at number 2. The Patriots had Christian Gonzalez, the cornerback that everybody raved about.
Wait, hold on. So your the second overall pick is a steal?
Yeah. Yep.
That doesn't even make sense.
They got him with the 30th pick, and he acquired 50 points for that in the first round.
Oh, you're saying he was picked 30th. That's the steal.
Yeah. Yep.
So
that's the
a
steal.
first-round pick is a steal.
Apparently so. Apparently so. I guess because they got him so late.
So late in
and
the
he
first.
said, yeah. But number 4 coming in, locking the door, the Titans with Will Levis.
Watch Will Levis be a superstar. Watch it happen.
You know what's interesting on top of that though, Yoram?
And they'll be paying him nothing.
They also did a top 10 reaches of the draft.
Yeah.
You know who had 2 players that reached? The Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson and Julius Brents, a cornerback, second round. So
I definitely agree with the Richardson pick.
Because
Because Titans fans, let me ask you this. Would you rather have Will Levis or Anthony Richardson?
Listen, Will Levis, at least from that perspective,
is going to play.
Ran 2 pro-style offenses, called plays in the huddle, not using boards and pictures, had the ability to change plays at the line of scrimmage. He was really hurt last year.
And has a really strong arm.
Has tremendous arm talent. Anthony Richardson, from what I saw watching him,
Looked awful.
Number one, they cut the field in half. Number 2, they gave him 1 read. Number 3, he was with that 1 read. He was schemed up. He was a 54% passer. I know he's an unbelievable athlete, but that dude scares the hell out of me. And I go back to what Keith Bullock said when he sat in here for y'all. And I brought up Anthony Richardson. He goes, that dude's going to get somebody fired.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mixed bag. The answer to that question is mixed in our chat.
I know. And that's what I am.
That's crazy to me.
I think so.
Anyway, I'd rather have Will Levis. Yes.
Me too.
I like him in the spot when you get to sit behind a guy that's a veteran like Ryan Tannehill. I do not want him starting.
Also, the Titans picked up a quarterback from USC. At least according to him. He put it on social media.
Yeah, he that was – and it was kind of like in the middle of the night.
Is that who it is? He used to be at Vanderbilt?
Mo.
Yeah.
Mo Hassan. He started sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, what did that mean?
I don't know, because four quarterbacks is a lot for camp, right?
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to think about. I don't remember if you need 4 arms or not. It's not something I really paid attention to, but now I do.
Teams.
So, we'll talk about that next. 3HL 615-737-1045.
All right, you guys, you have to take great care of mom on this Mother's Day. It's the 14th. It's right around the corner. Don't screw it up. And maybe it's your mom. Maybe it's your wife or the mother of your kids. Or maybe it's your sister who is a mom or your friend who is a mom or the dad that is the mom and the dad in the family. Doesn't matter. A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa, that's where you should send them. All the moms in your life are going to love a unique and thoughtful gift. Everybody loves a spa gift, trust me. And we make it easy on you. They make it really easy on you at A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa because you could just grab them a gift card 24/7 on their website. Also, I think we're going to be live out there on Monday, boys, at A Moment's Peace. So you could wait until Monday, come out, hang out with us, and then buy a gift card for the mom in your life at A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa. Here's the deal. This is why A Moment's Peace is special. Well, just one of the reasons. Because they have at least 10 different services all under one roof. Massages, manicures, pedicures, sunless tanning, waxing, facials, hair salon, makeup, gifts, you name it, and they have it. Maybe you can't swing by and see us on Monday from 3 to 6. You can go to their website, amomentspeace.com/thezone and get your gift card there. The address, put it in your calendar, intersection of Carruthers Parkway and Bakers Bridge Avenue, A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa.
Good afternoon from the Superbook.com sports desk. I'm Joe Hunt. Congratulations to Tennessee Titans head coach Mike Vrabel. The New England Patriots have just announced that he will be inducted into the Patriots Hall of Fame this upcoming football season. He will become the 34th inductee to the Hall of Fame. Now, they have not announced the date or time. It depends on when Coach Vrabel and the Titans are either off or play on a Thursday night. Also happening, the Atlanta Braves getting ready to take on the Miami Marlins at 5:40. Vandy alum Kyle Wright is on the mound. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, as well as home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three HL 104.5 The Zone. What up, Nashville? Brett Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. 4 o'clock hour. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, 4:30, Titans 7th round draft pick Colton Dowell will join us.
Yeah.
Wide receiver from UT Martin.
Straight out of LB, out of Lebanon, Tennessee.
That's right. Dawn Davenport over here.
Happy hump day to ya.
She's still cold, in case you're wondering.
I know. I think it's going to be a thing this summer in this studio. Were we not in this studio last summer? Is this the first time?
This is the first summer, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so is.
Yeah, when did we move?
I don't know. It was hot in that
It
studio,
was,
though.
I believe, October.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Dang it.
Ron Slade got some green drink over there.
It was hot over there.
Oh, Rocket Top. This kind got no room. This kind got no
That
room.
was perfect.
No room. No
Still
room.
think
No
7
room.
games for Lakers, Golden State?
No room.
I do think 7 games
do
for
too.
the Lakers and Golden State.
Rocket Top.
What about that last shot?
Jordan Poole?
They double Steph. It's so funny because Snoop Dogg is this huge Lakers fan. And so Stephen A. had him on yesterday on ESPN. And he said, here's what's going to happen. They're going to double Steph. And he goes, Jordan Poole keep missing those jumpers.
Mm-hmm. And guess what? Jordan Poole was hitting them jumpers too, though.
He hit
made
6 of them.
Yeah.
So the analysts on ESPN, I want to get your take on this. On that last play, they were saying that Draymond came up the floor too slowly, and Jordan did too.
Mm-hmm.
Came up the floor too slowly, and that enabled them to get the double team quickly on Steph and get the ball out of his hand. And that Poole didn't move well without the ball to get closer to the line when he caught it.
Yeah. Draymond was fine because as a trailer, you're supposed to be able to trail the break. You don't have to get up quickly because
That's
you,
what that
you'll be
guy
matched
does.
up. Yeah. Klay Thompson, if you saw on the play, was sprinting through to create that driving lane for him to get clear out that side for Steph. Poole was supposed to be able to take the other defender, which was AD, and create a 2-on-1 on the opposite side and didn't get up the floor fast enough. So it was Poole's fault. And then when he gave it to Draymond, the clock was running down. Steph was coming back for a handoff. By that time, the wide open guy, instincts say, kick it to my shooter.
That's so interesting. It's like you can spend like 10 minutes breaking down a play that took 4 seconds. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it was good D, man. Good D.
It was.
Lakers did a good job getting back.
Some interesting stats out of that game. Each team made 43 shots. Golden State had 15 more threes than the Lakers. The Lakers had 20 more free throws than Golden State.
Yeah.
And Windhorst was talking about how this was really a bizarre game that you hardly ever see, where the Lakers were just pounding it inside and Golden State was just everything from outside.
Yeah.
Which you knew that going in, but just he said just to watch it was really interesting.
That's why it's gonna be fun to watch the second game 2 adjustments to see how it goes. Because Looney had to come off the floor. AD's a problem. People like he's a problem. He's a problem. It's really as simple as that.
Well, when you look at his stat lines, like his game logs, he literally goes 30 points, 12 points, 34 points, 13 points.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it literally is every other game. He's got to get tired of hearing that, but that's what's happening.
That's who he is.
So, anyway, that's going to be fun. Knicks, even the series with the Heat, 1-1 with a 111-105 win last night. Philly at Boston tonight. Boston favored by 7.5. Celtics need to win. They don't need to go down 2-0 at home.
Embiid may be out there.
He might be. Harden had 45 in game one.
Because Embiid wasn't out there.
7 o'clock on TNT. 4 quarterback arms for the Titans going, at least right now.
But why?
Right. So is that a normal thing or not normal thing? I'm not sure about that. I'm going to ask some people here in a second. But Mo Hassan at USC, transferred from Vanderbilt, transferred from community college, put it out on social media that he was a Titan. So that gives him 4. You would think if something was going to happen with Ryan Tannehill that you would bring in like a veteran backup.
Yeah.
If you're rolling with Levis. So that makes me wonder if they
put him on the podium today either.
Right. It makes me wonder if they do have something cooking with Tannehill, this signing, and that Malik Willis will be out the door.
You know what I think it could be? It could be Tannehill coming off of that surgery as well, and they want to ease him into it and still be able to get the same amount of reps. I could be totally wrong, but
you're right.
get the same amount of reps for these new guys that they're planning on bringing in, because, like you said, the NFL has guys going to different camps and stuff like that. So you still want to see them, but you don't necessarily want your starter who's coming off of surgery to be out there. You know what I mean? Going more, he's maybe even on the pitch count.
Well, and so like rookie camps, you would have 2 arms.
Yeah.
Now, so that makes sense.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I mean,
maybe we're reading too much into this.
It could be, could not be too. Is anybody else doing it? Got to take a look around the league on that one. But I don't need Tannehill out there right now.
No.
I need him back do your workouts, back in the training room, come out, get you some reps, and we'll see you. See you, bye.
I am.
Because he's here.
He's here, and he spoke today. And
which is different than last year.
Very true.
Different spot, too.
Yeah, and I wonder where he is. I mean, I don't know if today shows us anything. I don't know. Maybe if you want to play number 4 from Tannehill Honk, maybe that will. Just because I'm like surprised, or not surprised, but I wonder where he is mentally, because I felt like he wasn't in, in a great place mentally with the team last year,
right,
when they drafted Malik Willis, because that was the whole, you remember his comments, like, I'm not here to mentor or teach or whatever. And I don't think he meant it that way. And then it blew up. And
it was on the heels of the interceptions, too.
Right.
So I think he took more ownership of that away from the public than in front of the public, and probably just dogged himself mentally. He had to crawl out of that space. And then when he crawled out of that space, all of a sudden we got a quarterback.
And he was okay, yeah. So he was asked how he remains focused, knowing what the team has now invested in at quarterback over the last couple of years.
You can only control what you can control, right? Mike and Rand make those decisions, and as players, you got to control what you can control, and that's doing the best you can, prepping yourself mentally and physically each and every day to go win football games.
Well, all right then.
Man, that
Same
guy never.
old Tannehill.
Man, that guy never says anything, boy.
What was your favorite bite from that press conference, Honk?
My favorite one was this short and sweet one about Rand Carthon telling him what his role would be with the team this year.
My job's to get ready to go win football games, and that's what I'm going to do each and every day.
But guess what, though? Guess what?
I love Ryan Tannehill pressers.
I think that goes to your point, though, Babs. That's how you know he was in a different space last year.
Because he actually said something.
Yeah, it was like, all right, y'all.
Shouldn't have been controversial,
right,
but it was.
Right, like, okay. Y'all been waiting to hear me talking. I ain't said nothing. Here it is.
Well,
now
and I
he's been
also
around.
thought it was more of kind of a shot at the organization.
Mm-hmm. And when you're around the organization as much as you are, you kind of are in tune. As much as he says, like, they didn't talk to me or whatever, you're in tune with what's going on. You got a vibe or a sense of what the energy is like. Like, you can feel when I've been on teams and I can feel like, oh, man, they're finna replace dude, man. Like, he ain't gonna be here next year. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you come off differently. I think he's in a comfortable spot, actually. That's why you see him reverting back to who he is. Mm-hmm. Impressors. So
I agree.
Want to hear some more from Ryan Tannehill?
I mean, if you want to hear some more
Let's see.
Blah.
Let's see.
Okay.
I haven't heard it.
There's
I wanna
only
hear this.
one. There's only one where he actually gave his opinion on something.
Well, hang on. Let's do cut 5. I want to hear this. What is the Titans offense trying to do in 2023? Will it run more? Hurry up.
We know we want to put pressure on the defense. That might be tempo, might be personnel changes, might be different sets than in personnels than defenses are typically seeing. So, a big emphasis I think is just putting pressure on the defense, not just tempo. There's a lot of ways you can do that, and that's one of those tools.
You want to dig deep into that and say, hey, we didn't get creative enough last year is basically what he was saying. Now, that's just me reading between the lines and digging deep and trying to make his sound interesting. But I kind of take that from it.
So, you know what I think? I took from it, Babsy. He was coming from a protection place of Tim Kelly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't put too much out there for anyone to take and run with and be like, oh, so it was Tim Kelly calling the plays last year. Of course we want to play with a different pace. We want to apply pressure, but so what's the difference? The difference is OC. I don't know. We'll see. I'm learning it just like you guys. If I'm Tannehill talking, I got to protect my OC walking into this because of the good guy that left.
Y'all want to know what Ryan Tannehill thinks about artificial turf going in Nissan Stadium?
Is this where he actually had his opinion?
Yes, this is it.
There you go.
All right,
enough.
Here's Ryan Tannehill opinion. Look
Don't
out.
sugarcoat it.
Here we go.
I don't love it. I've always enjoyed playing on grass more than turf. Just easier on your body, your joints, your skin as you're on the ground. But that's where we're at, right? We've played a lot of games on turf. We're going to play a lot more games on turf now. I don't think it affects the quality of the game or anything, but it definitely affects how you feel the next day.
Dang.
Did in the Super Bowl.
Pretty telling. He's
That
like,
might-
I can say that because, I'm only going to be here another year. So
I mean, that might be the closest thing to an opinion. Like, that was an opinion.
That was a great one too. I've been screaming it.
Slay, you are
Big
all
grass guy.
into
Yeah,
that.
let's
Yep.
do grass. I told y'all.
You big grass guy.
Dude, all that falling down, man, when you get up and all the little pellets on you and, man,
Rug
you get in the
burns.
shower, you got pellets in places you ain't supposed to have pellets.
like you're at the beach.
Man. Yeah, dog. That,
like
man, that turf
sand,
ain't
yeah.
nothing, man. That turf ain't nothing. And it's hot.
I'll tell you this, it gets hot.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, come on, man. Some grass out there.
We had our guy
Kent.
from Grass
McMillan.
365. Yeah, Kent put in turf in our backyard, and the other day it was sunny, like
it's hot.
super sunny, and I was out there with no shoes on, and it is hot.
See what I'm saying?
And there's numerous fields where it's well over 100 degrees in the fall on those turf fields.
Think about that first game in September. It's going to be about 98, kickoff at noon.
Makes it way worse.
And think about how good that grass feel when you water it before you go out there, boy. You lay down in that grass,
It's
boy.
like cool.
Yeah, boy. Ooh,
They can water this. They can water that field.
Ain't nobody got time to do that.
Well, guess what?
What?
Titans president and CEO Burke Nighthill will be on 3HL on Friday at 3:20.
Let's get it then.
Well, it's about the new
Who's that,
stadium
Burke,
and
man?
the turf and all those things.
Bert, can I come out there and lay down in it and test it?
Lay down in it.
That's what I want to know.
Get those little pellets all
Yeah, that's what, man. We got to get some different kind of pellets.
God, those after I work a game on turf, I come home and
See?
there's pellets all
Everywhere.
in my suit.
Everywhere.
Telling you now.
Because when you walk, they kick up, and so they end up at different places on your body.
All in your shoes. You take them over there through TSA checkout, and it's all over them.
Yep.
4:30 p.m. Colton Dowell, Titans 7th round pick, wide receiver out of UT Martin and Lebanon and Wilson Central High School will join us. Stay tuned for that. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Want to tell you about Superbook Sports. You can download the app. You can go online, superbook.com. You can stay tuned. At the end of the show on Zone TV, Slay will have some picks for you. You spend valuable time thinking about which bets to place each week, so why wouldn't you want the best company in the business to be the one who handles those bets? Superbook Sports, the most trusted name in Las Vegas, now live right here in Tennessee for all of your sports wagering needs. Superbook has a team of dedicated odds makers behind the counter in Las Vegas, setting all of their prices. Talking about guys with decades of experience, showing you why Superbook has the best odds around. And right now, you can look ahead to the hockey and hoops series that are going on. You can obviously bet games. You can bet series. You can bet winners. Do all that. Download the Superbook Sports app. Visit superbook.com to wager and win today. Visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-889-9789. 3HL 1045 The Zone. Watch the show live anytime. If you haven't done it, do it.
Come on.
We're kind of crazy in here a little bit.
Come on.
Never know what's going to happen. Slade might take his shirt off and throw it around the room.
Only when it's cold.
Babs might hit her head on the table trying to plug her charger in.
Pop. That is true.
Boop, boop.
One time I tried to sit down in my chair, but the chair had moved behind me and I hit the floor.
Yes.
I mean,
you almost did it again, too.
it's crazy up in here.
It gets wild.
You've got all kinds of props over there.
Oh, it's wild.
You got a little, is that a smoky, like, puppet?
Yeah, that's what I got sent us. They
Yeah.
Savage use it now. It's a little squeaker.
Oh, it's a squeaker.
A little smoke. A little smoky. Little smoke dog, baby. Yeah. Smoky. Smoky.
So, in advance of Matt Miller, who's coming up at 5:20, he ranked, I think it was like 398 players going into the draft.
Mm-hmm.
And he had Skoronski, the 9th best player in the draft, the number 1 offensive lineman. He had Will Levis ranked number 25, so still a first-round pick.
That's tough.
He had Tyjae Spears, 108. Josh Wiley, 156, the tight end out of Cincinnati. Jalen Duncan in the 6th round, 99. That's
Way more value for.
Yeah.
So we'll talk with him he's so good too, Matt Miller.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do that at 5:20. We'll talk with Todd Furman at 5 o'clock. He moved for us, which is kind of him.
Todd's a nice guy.
With the Bet the Board podcast.
By
Talking
the
about
way,
the
he got
Kentucky
married.
Derby. He
He snuck and got married.
He got
didn't know
married
we knew
last
it was
weekend.
going.
He got married. Oh, that's true.
You get weird on us, Todd.
Well, he didn't want to invite us.
That was the problem.
So that's why he just
Hit
it.
You blame him?
No, I wouldn't have invited us either.
So should I take that advice?
You don't have a choice. We sit with you every day.
Yeah, but are you not inviting Todd?
Oh, most definitely not.
Is that how that works?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. No invite for you, buddy. Buddy roll.
That's what happens.
Mm-hmm. Play the game like you know it. You like it, Babs.
I do.
We'll talk about the Kentucky Derby with him. Also, did certain teams' win totals change going in? So, like the Titans were 7.5 going into the draft. Did that change? Did the Colts number change?
That's a good question.
So we'll talk with him about that. Also, as I mentioned, the state of Ohio has halted bets on Alabama baseball based on suspicious activity from Friday night when they played number 1 LSU.
How?
See, that's what I don't understand.
College baseball suspicious activity.
That's weird.
Man.
That is so weird.
And that is so dumb.
That is so dumb.
Okay, this is the stuff
Gotta
we're
be a
getting
mole.
on Twitter. You can hit us at 3HL1045. Magic Mac just sent us a link to a story from CNN. It says, I can't wait to watch this. Watch a school principal's face-to-face encounter with a bear.
Oh, they bring it back.
Would at the Ron Slay run.
Why would you ask that?
Yes.
You're
That's
not
about-
supposed to run. You're supposed to get big
No.
and loud,
I'm
which
not
you
supposed
already
to
are those things.
No, I'm not here to get bit, Euro.
No, big.
Bit. B-I-T. I'm not here to get bit. I'm going to take my chances with my feet. I'm gone.
Your ankle's messed up.
I'm getting it fixed. They just called to get an appointment.
Oh, okay, good.
Uh-oh.
Wait, does that mean we can get ready for that 40?
Yeah.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
I got insoles. I pulled my insoles back out. I'm ready.
Well, that's good. 3HL presented by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, SpringHillAC.com. Yesterday, you thought it was Wednesday. Like, we started the show,
Hump
and I was like,
day!
welcome in, blah, blah, blah. And you go, hump day? And I'm like, wait a minute, it's Tuesday.
The days have moved. I don't know where I'm missing a day from.
But what's
I've
funny
lost a
about
day.
that was that I thought it was Wednesday, like literally all day, and I had to remind myself that it wasn't, and then you almost threw me off again
Today.
yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
So does it make the week go by longer if you start getting ahead of it with yourself?
Not kind of catches up. I'm ready to roll.
Okay.
But I am missing a day.
Also, we need an update on the now that you're back, Hunk. I forgot to ask you about this. We need an update on the whole Don Davenport wants to be a crossing guard situation.
We've been down to know this.
Yeah.
I will let you know when they contact me back.
Oh my goodness!
They still haven't.
Do they not
And it's
want
not
it?
like, it's not like
Listen,
nobody
man.
listens.
Listen,
Punk, you have to be more aggressive.
Exactly.
I have
dude.
emailed multiple times and called multiple times.
Okay,
The
well,
only
keep
thing I
doing
can
it.
do is
Get the
literally
no.
Well, only thing I can do is walk up to a police officer in that county and just knock on the window and say, "Hey, I need you to answer me right now."
It might not go well.
Yeah, that might not be a good idea.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
But it's like in sales. You got to get the no. Just keep calling, dude, until they tell you no.
I'll work on
Because they
that
might
tomorrow.
not.
Yeah. I'll work on it tomorrow.
What else was it?
School
that you
year's
were wanting
almost
to do?
over anyway.
School board?
School year.
No, but there was there was something else you wanted to do.
Oh, yeah. School board.
School year.
Yeah, I'm going to run for school board.
Nothing bad can happen there.
Did everybody vote in your local elections yesterday?
I'm only voting when you get on the ballot.
City council. You know what I should do? I should hop on that Brentwood codes board. Jerks.
I'm worried about that little situation when you get clear of everything.
I have not been cleared yet.
Hang
Still
on.
have not passed codes yet.
But isn't the school board meetings, aren't they on like public TV and stuff? You could do damage.
I think they
I don't
are
think
on
the
TV.
picture that we post on 3HL really helps her case.
Oh, that totally helps my case.
Standing on tables.
I'll handle the crazies.
But
Go see Dawn.
What if you are the crazy?
well, you know, I mean, I don't know. All right, Titans 7th round draft pick and rookie wide receiver Colton Dowell joins us now. Colton, what's up? How are you, man?
Man, I'm good. I can't complain. How are you?
Hey, we're great. Did you grow up a Titans fan? Obviously from Lebanon. I would think. So,
LB in the building?
what's your best memory sitting over there at Nissan Stadium?
Best memory sitting in Nissan. It's probably watching Derrick Henry bruise them big runs out. And, I was there for that 99-yarder he had against what was it, Jacksonville?
Yep.
Yes.
So
Now
I
you get
said
to
that.
play with them.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm ready to see how he works and and see how he keeps being successful year in and year out.
I mean, how crazy is it that the Titans drafted you? Like, I mean, how shocked were you when you got that phone call?
I was extremely shocked. I'd had talks with him, all throughout this whole process, and I was extremely excited. Obviously, being able to stay home and get to work with Coach Rabel and Coach Moore, it's going to be a fun ride, and I'm extremely blessed.
What's the reaction at home in Lebanon? Because we've talked about you for a couple days now, and people are on social media and our chat. Just hey, the entire city of Lebanon and Wilson County, everybody's so excited. What have you heard from home?
Yeah, I've actually went out to eat a couple times, and I'm not used to being a guy that people want to take pictures with, and it's been very eye opening. It's been awesome, and just the buzz around this town. How much love I'm receiving. It's just great. It's awesome.
So how did it all go down? Like, because Mark Mariani was a 7th round pick, Cortland Finnegan was a 7th round pick, and we've talked with those guys, and like at that part of the draft, you're getting calls, I would guess, from teams trying to line you up for like an undrafted spot. But I'm curious how your thing went down. Were there other teams calling you at various points in the draft? When did the Titans call you? What was that conversation like? Just kind of walk us through how that all went down.
Right. So before the draft, I got on the phone with Coach Jones. He was a coach at UT Martin. He's now the offensive line coach, assistant coach at the Titans. I got on the phone with him and we chatted up a little bit. And I guess he was just maybe testing the waters and seeing where I was at. But during the draft, as the round started going down, I started getting calls about free agent deals and I finally got that call about the 7th round. I think it was like pick 226. That's what they were on whenever the Titans called me, and I was like, okay, let's see what this is about. And it was awesome. They called me and they offered me a job, I guess. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I was talking to other teams, and I had a couple of things lined up for free agency, but I'm so glad we got to rip those plans apart and rip that paper up, and I got to stay home.
Nice. Does it help? Because sometimes if you're drafted late, you might be drafted by a team into a situation where it's, a super deep receiving room or something like that.
This one ain't that.
This ain't that. Yeah. Do you look at this as man, I'm going to have a really good opportunity here?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's, the NFL and everybody at this level is really great and really good. And, I saw this as, it's a good opportunity, but at the same time, those guys are pros too. So I know I'm gonna have to get in there and work and, prove myself day in and day out. But definitely, I think it's more so being able to stay home is what I'm excited about. And, I got mad respect for all the receivers in their room. And I know it's going to be a grind, figuring my spot out no matter where I went. So.
Have you talked to any of the Titans quarterbacks?
I've talked to I wanted to say Mr. Tannehill, but I guess I'm going to say that.
No, that's probably about right, age-wise, right?
I love that you just said that.
I got a text from Ryan whenever I got drafted, and then I've been talking to Will a little bit here and there throughout this past week.
Good.
Very cool. So, where did you consume the draft? Were you at home with your family? Like, what was that situation like?
Yes, sir. We had a little watch party at my parents' house here in Lebanon. It was I want to say there was about 50 of my my family. 50 people were there. All my cousins and uncles and aunts and stuff. So yeah, I was sitting at home in my dad's shop actually watching the draft. So
I love it. Colton Dowell, wide receiver, 7th round pick for the Titans, with us on 3HO. Get ready, Colton. Something's about to happen to you.
Okay.
All right, Colton, check this out, man.
He's been warned. I can already tell.
Check it out, Colton. Now, when you come on here, man, and in a situation like you are, we got to test you out. Like, the Titans going to put you through all kind of extreme tests, and, you got to get out there. You got to get out with the guys. But right here, man, in the media world, man, we putting you in the boom boom room. Now, when you roll off into the boom boom room, the door's locked behind you, and the only way you can get out is if you answer the questions to the best of your ability, truthfully.
Okay.
Truthfully, like if you mess up and I think it ain't the truth, you go to the basement with the other lost souls. It's about 2 or 3 of them down there, and they get fed once a week. You
I
good
got
with this?
You. You know what? I don't think I have a choice. Let's do it.
All right, lock the door, huh?
Ah, yes. One man on his way into the boom boom room.
All right, Colton Dowell, you have stepped into the boom boom room. The door is locked behind you. It's brought to you by Low T Center. Let's jump straight to it, man. Now, you walking away from a situation at UT Martin. You were a veteran now. Give me one thing that you're going to miss most about the college program and the atmosphere that was created there with your football squad.
I'm just going to miss, getting together with the guys, because in Martin there wasn't too much to do. There wasn't too much to get out and go do. So it was just a lot of hanging out with your brothers, a lot of hanging out with your teammates. So I'd say just, that quality time I got with them.
Okay, do you guys still do crows and cranes down there?
Crows and cranes?
Yeah. It's a little.
So you talking about the play?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir. They still do it.
First of all, we're in the boom boom room. Your feet kicked up. Don't do no yes sirs in the boom boom room. That's how you get down, put down in the basement. It's just 2 dogs talking. That's all we doing. So will you miss that play? Yeah, don't we ain't doing no yes sir in here, brother. It's all good in here. All right, so you got that. Now give me something that you're taking into this situation that you learned from a peer, a mentor, pops, mom, somebody that's getting you ready to go on this journey.
I take it from one of my coaches, Coach J Mack at Martin. One snap and clear is what we used to say, and no matter if what you do is good or bad, it's in the past, so you just got to clear out from it and put your best foot forward.
Love it. Now, you running around with a 41.5-inch vertical. You had to do some kind of hooping back in the day, man. Now, you had to. You can't be coming from LB and not be doing no hooping up there.
Wilson Central, right?
Well, Wilson Central, but in the city of Lebanon. You know what I mean? Let me know about your hoop game.
Man, you said I can't lie, right?
You can, but you won't never get out.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was more of a baseball, football player growing up. I never found my shot, so I didn't do too much hooping.
I like it. I can respect that. I can respect that. Now tell me this: Wilson Central versus Lebanon. Let's go and start the beef right here. Which high school is better?
Wilson Central.
Hands down. Did you ever lose to Lebanon?
No, I did not.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
I tell you this. I don't think we ever won. We always won. It was like 20 plus.
Ooh.
We had 20 plus points on them every time I played them.
Slaughterhouse. Goodness
Yeah,
gracious.
yeah.
All right.
I hate to down Lebanon. They're on the up and up right now, but when I played them, they wasn't doing too well.
No, talk your talk in the boom boom room.
I was going to say, it ain't bragging if it's true, right?
You better believe it. So, all right, now, quick hitters now. You got to tell me. You got a meal you got to create. You can cook it or you can get somebody to cater it. How are you serving the Titans organization, your teammates, when you walk in there? What meal you going to serve for them? I need an appetizer, entree, and dessert.
Appetizer, entree, and dessert?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so for my appetizer.
Are you cooking it or are you getting this catered?
I'm gonna get the appetizer catered. I'm not much on finger foods.
Okay. I like that.
So
What a line.
So my appetizer is gonna be these things. It's called pinwheels. They're from Pantrillos here in Lebanon. And things are good. It's a little kind of like garlic bread, wrapped, and it's got cheese in it. It's the bomb now.
I like it.
And then for the meal, I can cook some chicken Alfredo.
Okay.
I'm pretty good at that. We're gonna keep it Italian a little bit.
Okay.
I'm good at that.
Okay.
And then for dessert, I'm gonna get dessert catered too. I'm not much of a dessert maker, but it's I gotta go with my cousin Sia and her yellow cake.
Sia, shout out to Sia. I know Sia. That's what's up. Okay, yeah, she's been throwing down for a long time.
You know everybody.
How do you know her?
You know everybody.
Y'all be cool. Everybody be cool. All right, now check this out, Colton. Now, at any point, was your pops, I know in firefighter?
Yeah, he was a fire chief. He's retired now.
Okay, so now you're doing a little coaching and everything now? Or what does your pops got going on? Did he tell you that this was going to be more difficult than it was being a fire chief?
Nah, I mean, depending on how you look at it, this is more difficult, but he had to deal with a lot of stuff, a lot of personalities as fire chief. So I say in that aspect, it's probably the same.
Mm-hmm.
But nah, he's always told me, as long as I'm myself and I put my best foot forward and I'm completely honest with people, everything will fall out how it's supposed to be.
All right, one question, and I'm gonna let you out of the boom boom room. You talking to kids that's coming up. You took the path untraveled in a sense. You went to school. You were there since 17. You faced getting the red shirt. You battled all the way through that. Now here you are getting drafted. What do you tell a kid that may be a little bit just not sure of himself? I'm not getting the looks that everybody else is getting. And what would you tell him in order to motivate him to keep fighting for his dreams?
First I tell him comparison is the thief of joy. Anytime you're looking around and looking at people and what other people are doing, your eyes aren't forward and you're not able to move forward, So I just say, keep your head forward and keep driving, keep working hard, and things are going to work out how they're going to work out. But if you work hard, they always work out well.
Now you make this team, man. How many tickets you think you have to get for everybody in Lebanon to come out of this game?
Man, I don't even know. I don't even know how to get that.
Well, he had like 50 at his house.
I know. Sia wants tickets.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, man, we appreciate it. Hold on. Let me get you up out of the boom boom room. You did a good job, Colton. Hold on. Unlock the door for him, huh?
Well. Looks like you did good in the boom boom room. Hoo-wah.
I'm so glad I didn't have to go to the basement.
No, yeah, because I'm talking about they starving down there, boy. You talking about you think it's gonna be hard to get in with the Titans? This hard to get out that basement door. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
There's no yellow cake down there.
I'm trying to figure out who is in the basement. We need to go back through the list at some point and get him back on. Hey, Colton, thanks for the time, brother. Congrats on everything, and keep pushing, bro.
Yeah, keep writing that story, man.
Yes, sir. Hey, I appreciate y'all having me.
All right, there he is. He's Colton Dowell, at Colton Dowell 2. If you want to give him a follow on Twitter, need to increase that number.
Colton Dowell, keep on, man. Shout out to all my people up there in LB, man. It's just a cool little shout out.
I know.
I like him.
I do. My homegirl. Quite a bit of people up there in LB.
She makes great yellow cake, apparently.
Hey.
We might have to get some delivered here to the Ville.
None of us can eat it.
Can't do that right now, Babs. You got a goal you got to reach.
I won't start till the 15th.
Boy, she's got an indulgence period coming up, bro.
That's right.
Give me all of it. Terry Lawan had an interesting announcement yesterday. We'll play that for you next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
Well, if you like Babsy, your temperature is going to just go fluctuate when you walk in and out of different climates or different buildings. Don't let that be the situation in your house. You can always control that with Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. Ain't that right, Babsy? Your temperature probably set at about 75 in your house, huh?
No. No, in the summer, I get really, really hot.
Okay,
so
we're almost there.
So make sure your AC unit is working. And schedule your 21-point tune-up for just $49 with Spring Hill Heating and Cooling at springhillac.com is where you need to go. And here's the thing about Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. Slate, family-owned and operated company, and we're talking top to bottom.
Yes, and they always respond promptly to issues and gets the problem resolved very quickly and accurately, and they don't mess up anything. They might even fix a couple of things. Just saying.
And they won't get your house dirty at all, too.
Because they bring their own Mac.
They deliver all the services the bigger corporate guys offer, but they do it with the friendliness of family. SpringHillAC.com.
Call them.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. I've had Taylor Lawan on a couple of times in the past week or so, and I mean, he let it rip. Pre-draft, he was like, look, man, I'm not in the NFL right now. Because you asked him about the Texans, like, would they screw up pick number 2? He was basically like, I'm not in the NFL. So you want my opinion on the Texans? If they got a chance to screw it up, they're going to screw it up.
Yeah, although they didn't.
They didn't.
Jerks.
Then they doubled down and got like the best player in the draft.
And then, yeah. And
Thanks, Hunk.
Just stating the obvious.
Go ahead.
You're talking about Will Anderson.
Yes.
Then, we asked him about playing again, and he was like, well, I guess he left it kind of open-ended and said basically, like, depends on the situation. He's like if the Texans called me, he's like, or the Colts. I can't see myself playing for the Colts or the Texans, right?
Right.
Yeah, Lawan, yeah.
And then he went into this, long thing about how much he loves Nashville.
Yep.
And how the city embraced him and how appreciative he is about that. But for a while, he's been hinting at maybe something coming based on that ACL surgery he had in 2020. And this is what he said on Buzzing with the Boys.
So I have to get a quick announcement out of the way. I'm in an unfortunate circumstance where I have had to file a lawsuit against the people and entities that are involved with my surgery from October of 2020. But I want to take this opportunity on this podcast to let all of you know what's kind of going on in my life. Fans that have followed my career, seeing those years before the ACL surgery and then obviously after the ACL surgery, kind of wondering, what the hell is happening with Lawan. But a lot of times there's areas for vulnerability, and I really wanted to make sure that I was able to share this with you guys, because for the last, since 2020, it sucked. It's been tough, but I would love to sit here and vent and tell you for the next hour and a half how tough of a situation this has been. But the reality is I just can't right now. When I can, I will definitely share more when I'm able to. But like I said, we all know how lawyers work. Hopefully it all gets just figured out and it's all done, and I can speak about it more, because I like people to know what's going on with my career. I love it.
That's pretty cool.
Always being real, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
At Taylor Lawan 77. So yeah, well, it's funny, man. I'm trying to think, like, if there's an athlete that's come through here that has been more real and honest and self-deprecating and all of those things, and just than Taylor Lawan.
Yeah.
Like him, not like him, whatever. He knows who he is, and he's completely comfortable in showing you.
Mm-hmm. I think that's fun. It makes everything fun, even the bad times. It's all right. It'll be all right.
I don't think he's always been that way either.
I think that's true. And he said that, actually. Like, he grew up here, basically,
Yeah.
And he mentioned coming in with the assault thing in Michigan, and he mentioned the thing at Losers. And,
Yeah. That was with Mettenberger, wasn't it?
Yeah. And it's just always interesting for people to be real, because, like, we're not perfect, nobody is, and we all have things.
Right.
And he's handled situations poorly. He'll tell you that. We all have. But you just got to keep moving and keep learning and keep trying to be the best you. And that's him. So always appreciate him coming on. Todd Furman coming up next. Bet the Board podcast. We'll talk about the Kentucky Derby. NFL win totals. Did anybody change based on their draft class? Also, Ohio halting bets on Alabama baseball based on suspicious activity. We'll talk with Todd about that next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
Want to tell you about the law offices of Charles Frazier. And if you need some help dealing with IRS issues, or you need some help planning for the future of your family, estate planning, guess what? The law offices of Charles Frazier and attorney Charles Frazier can help you. And They are great. Just go look at Frazier.law. That's FRAZIER.law. You can hear for yourself testimonials. You can see how well they handle estate planning and, tax issues with the IRS. And part of the reason that Attorney Frazier is so good at what he does when it comes to tax resolution is because he worked for the IRS after he graduated from school. And so he knows exactly what and how and why they do. He's got that inside perspective on tax audits, and he uses that knowledge to help his clients get out of trouble. He can help you. Call the law offices of Charles Frazier. Set up your consultation today. 615-510-4000 is your phone number. 615-510-4000. Let attorney Charles Frazier and the law offices of Charles Frazier help you out.
Good evening from the Superbook.com sports desk. I'm Joe Hunk, and it was a shocker earlier today as the New York Jets announced that they are signing wide receiver Randall Cobb in a stunning move to make Aaron Rodgers happy. That is the fourth ex-Packer that is signed with the New York Jets, and that is not counting offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett, who is also a New York Jet. Just a little while ago, we found out that Tennessee Titans head coach Mike Vrabel is going to be enshrined in the Patriots Hall of Fame this upcoming season. A date and time have yet to be announced for that ceremony. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, as well as home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Brett Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay with you. We're going to just jump on in here with Todd Furman.
Come on, Todd.
Out in Vegas, Bet the Board podcast, among other things. Todd, what's up? How are you?
Hey, Todd.
I'm doing well this Wednesday afternoon, ladies and gents. How you guys doing?
We're doing well. I gotta ask you a question though. This came up yesterday. So odds that Slay could survive an encounter with a black bear, and odds that Slay could survive with an encounter with a grizzly bear.
I mean, again, we have to figure out who's got home court advantage in all of this. Are we talking about being inside the radio studio where you guys are and Slay has to go hand-to-hand combat? Or are we out somewhere in the Smoky Mountains where Slay can run and hide, climb a tree, or do something to keep himself out of harm's way? I mean, these are the important parts that you have to factor in if you're going to try and come up with an accurate line. As you know, just like when we talked about a crocodile against a boa constrictor, I mean, in the water, it's one thing. If we're talking about on land, it's a much different dynamic.
No, it's going to be on the Bears' home turf. Slay's out there in the woods.
Oh, and then Slay's a heavy underdog there. So, I mean, Slay's got to try and figure things out. And you know what? I mean, this isn't a knock on Slay, but I don't get he would survive more than 2 days naked and afraid out there in the wilderness, going head-to-head with a grizzly bear in a confined space. I think Slay's got about 6 hours before that bear hunts him down.
The weird part is, though, you knew I'm out of there. I'm running. Like, ain't no me and the bear not going head on.
I ain't
playing with no bear. Well, I'm running.
See, the bottom line is, Slay, you've told me about your gimpy hamstring for so long, so how long are you going to run before you get tired, go down in a heap, and you become easy prey for that bear?
Who said I was going to be alone?
Right. That's hella research right there.
I'm going to put somebody down. I'm pushing somebody down.
Ramon.
They got to take them instead of me. Sacrificial lamb.
I mean, that's the bottom line with all that stuff. I mean, if there's a wild animal attack and you're with anybody else, you just can't be the slowest one in the crowd. That's right. You always make sure you hang out in a crew where someone's slower, someone's weaker, and they become the weakest link to allow you to get safe and high ground.
Oh my God.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, we need Buck out in the wilderness with us, I think.
Yeah. Furman.
Uh-oh. Why are you so mad?
Well, first of all, congratulations. I do believe you got married.
That I did. Tied the knot after, 5.5 years of dating my lovely girlfriend, then fiance, and now officially my wife as of Saturday. So we had a lovely event out here in the desert. Tried to make sure that we could find the optimal time on the sports calendar that people wouldn't have to leave their day to day. And the event went off relatively flawlessly. Most impressively for you guys, they started short pouring at the bar about an hour before things shut down. So we had a number of irate guests because they weren't able to get their fill of a so-called full open bar.
Oh,
no short us. What are y'all doing, Todd?
No.
I mean, Slay, I don't make these rules. I mean, apparently they did not prepare for the kind of crew that we brought out there. And you guys know what it's like. You bring Pain Insider to an event, everybody brings the party with them.
You better believe it.
And guys, we weren't even there, guys.
So we didn't
Imagine
get
if we
invited
were
yet.
there. I know. Our invitation must still be in the mail.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a little slow.
It's coming. You guys can, when we decide to renew our vows 5 years from now, we'll make sure that we do it. We sell a little bit of advertising. And we get 3HL to broadcast the entire event live.
There you go. 5 years from now.
All right, what you got with the Kentucky Derby? Because I'm really disappointed in the lack of creativity with the names.
I mean, the one thing about the Derby years ago, it was a race where any horse that was entered into the field could find a way to win. And you saw a lot of long shots come home, and it offered all sorts of upside and paydays. Over the last handful of years, other than when Country House won because of the disqualification and everything else that came along with it, we've seen favorites perform remarkably well. And I think a lot of that is a credit to the horse racing industry in general, how widely available some of the Brisnet scores are that are active reflections of how fast most of these ponies are. And when you look at Forte, I mean, it checks the boxes for why the horse is listed as 3-1. I think that number is going to come down a little bit. But when you're looking for another way to kind of attack the market, some of those head-to-head matchups that are out there, and one of the sharpest matchups I've seen so far is actually Raise Kane 15-1 on the morning line against Continuar, but only right around $1.40 in the head-to-head matchup. That would probably be the way, if people have access to it, that I would suggest getting involved in the Derby, more so than trying to land a Quinella, an Exacta, a Trifecta, Superfecta, and some of the more exotic horse terms that most of the recreational bettors won't know or be familiar with.
Oh, Trifecta, Superfecta.
Yeah, you just blow through that. I like it. Then one good name, Tappet Trice. Tappet Trice got a chance?
I mean, when you look at the price at 5-1, I mean, second favorite on the morning line. Haven't seen money come in on Tappet Trice or against, so, you know, maybe a horse that the professional bettors and the wise guys, so to speak, haven't decided to take a stance on just yet. But it's interesting because when I look at the field, and look, I don't handicap horses on a day-in, day-out basis, but some of the guys that I trust the most in this arena, we're not overly enamored with the field, didn't think there was any horse that was going to be strongly undervalued or overvalued. Obviously subject to change between now and post time on Saturday, but very interested to see ultimately where some of these prices end up settling and which pony will collect the buzz, because you know inevitably the public will latch onto one of them.
So the Titans win total, 7.5, I think I saw somewhere. We saw in The Athletic they graded the Titans draft class number 1 in the NFL. Would something like that change those numbers for certain teams?
Oh, it won't for the most part, unless a team is a piece or two away from truly competing. And more often than not, when we look at these draft grades that come out, you probably have to wait 3 to 5 years to really assess, you know, what teams have done well, which teams have traded down to get pieces that they wanted. And I think a lot of the times the one thing that I've seen with some of these mock drafts, or I shouldn't say mock drafts, but the draft grades, is that if a team drafts a quarterback that the grader has fallen in love with in any capacity, they'll typically bump them up a little bit higher. But you mentioned the Titans win total at 7.5, and just to kind of put things in perspective, as far as a competitive set with other teams listed at 7.5, the Patriots, Raiders, Rams, Green Bay Packers, Chicago Bears, and Carolina Panthers, only 5 teams as it sits right now have win totals of 6.5 or less. The win totals will move a little bit based on what we see for the schedule reveal about 8 days from now. I think it's scheduled for 8 Eastern next Thursday night.
Only 5 teams.
Yeah, Lee.
I mean, hey, here's the thing. When you look at the NFL, it's a league of parity, though, because you can take the glass half empty approach that only 5 teams have a worse win total, but the majority of teams are typically going to be in that 7.5 to 9.5 range. And as I'm looking at some of these prices now, I mean, you essentially have 2/3 of the league separated by 2 wins there. The 2 tiers that are above it, Cincinnati, Kansas City, and San Francisco at 11.5, Buffalo, Jacksonville, and Philadelphia at 10.5. I do find the Jags win total interesting right now. We've talked about the AFC South and how much maligned it is, but the Jags have major questions that they have to address on the offensive line. So I'm not ready to take a leap of faith that they're able to utilize some of the momentum that they had last year and parlay that suddenly into an 11-6 campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers is throwing passes up in New York, Jetville, and he compared Garrett Wilson to longtime uber-talented wide receiver Devontae Adams in terms of how he runs his routes and comes out of breaks. And Randall Cobb is signing a 1-year deal. Ryan Clark said today, Todd, quote, "Everyone has their binky," end quote. Which was a great line. What about the Jets?
Rodgers clearly has the Jets out, going all in, and what Aaron Rodgers says goes. We know that the Jets are going to try and be able to capitalize over the next 1 to 2 years before they have to pay a lot of their key contributors. They check a number of boxes as far as skill position players are concerned. We know how talented that defense was last year. Interesting, the Jets don't decide to take on the 5th-year option for Mekhi Becton. So we'll see if the offensive line can protect. The one thing that the Jets will have working against them is it's a relatively difficult schedule. And when you're talking about playing a number of games in prime time, like most NFL insiders have reported, you know, you're going to have a target on your back. So let's see how a Jets team that really didn't have much pressure on them for a lot of games last year handles that and embraces it. And the one thing we've seen about the temperamental Aaron Rodgers, if things don't start well for him as a member of the Jets, can this thing get off the train tracks? pretty quickly. I think 9.5 is the perfect win total for them. And, of course, we'll see exactly how schedule makers decide to showcase them on some of the biggest stages. And we may see them twice right out of the gates if we're talking about a potential game against the New York Giants to open up the season on Monday Night Football, and maybe a Sunday Night Football game against Kansas City early in the campaign as well.
Give me a little hockey. Let's go in your lane. What you got with Carolina and New Jersey and Edmonton and Vegas? Your squad, your Vegas squad.
Honestly, Slay, nothing strong for me in the two games tonight. I think when you look at Carolina and New Jersey, the Devils obviously went through the ringer, finding a way to gut out a 7-game series victory against the Rangers. And Akira Schmid was the storyline. I mean, you look at some of the underlying metrics, the very talented, albeit young netminder, exceeded everyone's expectations, finished that series with a goals against under 1.4 and a save percentage of .951. But you wonder how the Devils will be able to run it back. And Carolina can be one of the more difficult places to play in the entire NHL. Canes 9-2 at home the last 2 postseasons. I lean Carolina ever so slightly. I know the betting market disagrees with me for tonight's game, but I think if Carolina is able to get the win, that's where you can jump in on a more advantageous series price on the Devils. And as far as Edmonton and the Golden Knights, this number's gotten away. Do I think Edmonton wins tonight? I do, but am I willing to lay the $1.15 or $1.20 to try and back the Oilers? Probably not. Again, though, if the Oilers drop game 1, I think you come in over the top and bet them to win the series. The Oilers were my pick to come out of the Western Conference before this thing started, and quite frankly, I'm not going to jump off that train just yet.
What about tomorrow night?
Toronto came out flat as a board to some extent. Florida outplayed them for long stretches at 5-on-5, and this is a Panthers team now playing with a bit of house money and a ton of momentum. Winners of 4 straight. Sergei Bobrovsky was the storyline there. I don't think Toronto deserves to be a $1.80 favorite. I think if you believe in the Leafs tomorrow and they can win game 2, the better angle to attack is betting them in the series, right around even money, hoping that they can replicate some of what we saw last round against the Tampa Bay Lightning. And as far as the Kraken and Stars, I was surprised how short the number was for Dallas, opening right around -150 in game 1. Number got bet up, and books are right back to opening Dallas right around a $2 favorite. Yeah. Dallas is going to need to get a little bit more production throughout the lineup rather than relying on Joe Pavelski for 4 goals. I still think Dallas gets out, but I actually want to watch game 2 because I'm a little bit concerned about Jake Ottinger giving up multiple goals to the blocker side. The Kraken may have a scouting report, and we'll see if they're able to execute it as well in the second game of the series.
Philly at Boston in the NBA tonight. Boston by 7.5.
Yeah, numbers actually up a touch right now. I'm looking at the odds board. Started to move a little while ago. So 8.5, 9, kind of the consensus prices out there. A little bit surprising. Yeah, Joel Embiid upgraded earlier, but we're not quite sure how healthy that knee is. I think you're going to get Boston to play their most complete game. And when you look at the prices here, wait it out. You may have a chance to lay 8. I think it's the definition of a lay it or don't play it with the favorite here. What we've seen in the NBA, when a road team wins the first 2 games of a series, they've gone on to win that series 84% of the time, 27 out of 32 series we've seen. So clearly Boston backed in no corner, but I also don't want to simplify the handicap and say, oh, well, because Boston has to win, they're going to win by double digits. But I do think we see Embiid, and I'm happy once he's officially on the court to bet Boston if this number comes back a little bit.
Interesting. At Todd Furman on Twitter. Check out the Bet the Board podcast. Rate, review, subscribe with Todd Furman and Payne Insider. Thank you, Todd. Good stuff, man. Congrats.
Thanks, Furman.
Hey, thank you, guys. Appreciate it as always, and enjoy the great games tonight and throughout the course of the week. Best of luck with some of those pony picks. I know you'll be in action, Brent, for sure.
Yep. Matt Miller coming up next. He's going to break down the Titans draft class. Go ahead and give him a follow on Twitter at NFL Draft Scout, ESPN NFL Draft Analyst and Insider. Matt Miller next on 3HL, presented by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, springhillac.com. Buddy Allen Carpet One, your flooring experts in Nashville, locally owned and operated by the Allen family for more than 55 years. Zach, Jenna, and Judson Allen are in the store every day. You're going to get free in-home measures and estimates. You're going to get the beautiful guarantee at Buddy Allen Carpet One. They know how important it is for you to feel confident in your flooring selection. You want to know it's going to look exactly the way you want once it's installed in your home. That's why they offer the unmatched peace of mind with their one-of-a-kind guarantee. If you're not happy, they'll replace it for free. That's what they call the beautiful guarantee. Over in Donaldson, 2405 Lebanon Pike, 615-883-3289, BuddyAllenCarpet1.com.
If you have some credit card debt and maybe you're looking to be credit card debt free in, 10 days, save about $1,000 a month, Loan Pronto, that's who you need to call, 499-5780. Their all new Express Equity line of credit program is exactly what you need. And here's how it works. You don't have to do a full home refi. Maybe you are super happy with your rate and know you're not going to get that rate again. Well, guess what? Loan Pronto has it to where you can just hop into a portion of the equity you have in your home and enjoy a super low monthly payment in that. Loan Pronto's Express Equity Credit Line closes in 7 to 10 days. A $50,000 loan is only going to cost you around $400 a month. So you can pay off those high interest credit cards, do a home improvement project, and save yourself a bunch of money. Stop the madness. Say no to ridiculous 24% interest fees from credit card companies and call Loan Pronto to help you out. 615-499-5780. Go visit them online at loanpronto.com. 615-499-5780. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, and the Ron Slay. The.
That's right. You're correct, you are.
Don, were you cold today outside?
Yes, and I'm still cold.
At least you didn't wear two sweaters under the
boys,
jacket today.
60 degrees is not warm.
Dude,
That's
it's
beautiful.
67 right now.
No, it's not.
At 5:24.
And it's beautiful.
Well, it's windy. Factor in the wind chill.
Factor in the wind.
You need some like blood circulation in your body. You're like a vampire over there.
Oh,
I
bad.
need 100 degrees is what I need.
I need a Titans NFL draft breakdown. And we've got Matt Miller in here from ESPN at NFL Draft Scout. Matt, what is up, man? How are you?
I'm doing well, guys. It's 75 degrees out. I'm sitting outside. I've got a little sweet tea in the Yeti. It's a good day so far.
There ain't no sweet tea in that cup.
There is, I swear to God. It's a Wednesday night. It's a Wednesday night.
Sound like another great night. Exactly.
Day ending in Y. Matt Miller, NFL Draft Scout on Twitter. And Matt, I saw the pre-NFL draft player rankings, and so I just went through kind of the Titans portion of that. And you had Peter Skoronski, the first-round pick at 11. You had him ranked 9th on your list, the number 1 offensive lineman. How did the Titans do with that pick?
Very good. I actually talked to someone with the Titans who I don't know if they want me to say which player it was, or which person it was, but I talked to someone from the Titans on Friday morning, and he said, "Hey, did you like the Skoronski pick?" And I was like, "Well, where's he going to play?" And he's like, "I don't know yet, but did you like the pick?" It's like, yeah, well, I really like the player. I mean, my evaluation of the pick is going to be based on where he's going to play, but I did think he was the best lineman in the draft. And whether he's going to play left guard or I don't think he's going to play left tackle. We've talked about it before with Andre Dillard being there and the money they gave him.
Yeah.
But get your 5 best guys out there. And the cool thing right now is you have some flexibility with Dylan Radins. You have some flexibility with MPF, who they drafted in the 3rd round last year. You have some flexibility with Jalen Duncan, he drafted in the 6th round. So I do think we have a team right now where it's like, okay, let's see who the best 5 are. And let's get them out there. And that's worked for the Dallas Cowboys for like 30 years. So I like that mindset. And Skoronski is such a Vrabel pick. Like, go watch the Nebraska game. It's in Dublin, Ireland, week 0 last year. And he is just killing people. I mean, he's putting people in the ground. And it's like, it's week 1. You're just playing this cute little game in Ireland. It's like, okay, whatever. And he's just burying bodies out there. And that's when I fell in love with him as a player was, hey, this is almost like a showcase game. And he's trying to hurt people as a blocker. And that is such a Mike Vrabel type player.
Yeah, you're not getting sweet tea in Ireland, I'll tell you that. But so like road grade run blocker guy, or does he have it? What are his strengths and weaknesses, I guess?
His strengths are technique. So yes, more of a mauler than a finesse player.
Okay.
But it's just, but he's also, I mean, he has a first step that is and a strike speed that are really impressive. So this isn't someone that can't play on the edge and strike a little bit and, beat you with that first step and the burst and kind of that surprising twitch. He's got all that. I think his technique as a run blocker and a pass blocker is what you really get excited about, though.
All right, the quarterback, Will Levis. You want to ask him, Don? You had him with a first-round grade. Slips to the 2nd round. Rand Carthon, the GM of the Titans, told us that they were surprised that he was still there after the first round was completed. Were you?
Very, yeah. I mean, he was the most interesting player in this draft for me because if you looked at my player rankings, I know you said you had him up. I had him ranked at number 25 overall. So I graded him as like a late first-round pick, basically. When I was not a Will Levis fan, it was when people were talking about him going 1 through 4. It was like, no, that's not who he is. But 33, yes, that is a fantastic pick, especially, with Ryan Tannehill being 34 years old. He ended last year on injury reserve. He's going to the last year of his contract, and he's got a gigantic cap hit at quarterback. So, like, the writing's on the wall. And what we saw from Malik Willis last year was just not enough to make you think that he's the guy, right? He's going to come in, and he didn't show those Desmond Ridder or Sam Howell type flashes where you think, okay, no, let's see what we've got here. So I love the pick, even the trade up to go get Levis. I'm good with. And I think I said this, it might have been with you guys. This is funny because my big thing on him before the draft was if he falls, it might be the best thing that happens to him, because he's going to have to think like, all right, what I was doing clearly wasn't working because these teams passed on me. And so I've got to clean some things up. I'm not a perfect prospect. Some of the things that, I thought teams wanted to hear in the interview portion, maybe that wasn't great. Or, all the photos of me all rocked up on Instagram, maybe that's not the best thing for my career. And so now it's, all right, let's have a hard conversation about what's going to work and what isn't. And I go back to having Mike Vrabel and Rand Carthon, two guys who played at exceptionally high levels as the leaders of your team. They can talk to a 24-year-old Will Levis and be like, right, here's what we want from you. Here's what we expect. Here's how we can put you in a position to be the next franchise quarterback here.
So you say, you didn't like Levis as a 1 through 4 kind of pick. Why was that not who he is? What's missing? Why did he fall?
Yeah, so for me, it's not even so much about the things that you hear like, oh, he didn't interview that well. I don't know that that's why he fell. I think he fell, Don, because teams got through the first round and said, and I reported this before the draft, I couldn't find a team that loved him. There were teams that liked him, but I couldn't find a team that loved him. And I think that's what happened was we got to that spot where teams like, oh, we don't have that high of a grade on him. So what does he need to fix? Processing speed is the biggest one. The offensive line at Kentucky was terrible last year. And all you Volunteer fans know I'm right. They was terrible last year. So he will have a better offensive line where he can speed up that processing speed, maybe not lock onto target so much. One thing that the big change for him from 21 to 22 on his tape was he didn't run as much last year. And it seemed like he was waiting for a receiver to make a play, waiting for somebody to get open. And he got sacked a ton last season. So I think that's one of the other keys is getting into the NFL, learning how to trust your guys to where you can put the ball out there for them to make a play instead of, gosh, I'm holding, and then I'm getting blindsided by one of these pass rushers.
All right, third pick, Matt. Tyjae Spears. We saw the output he had with Tulane last year. Man, ran rampant over USC to end the season. Coming into this situation, this isn't a guy that just tore his ACL trying to bounce back. He played with no ACL, so he's walking into this situation as a proven product. What's the biggest thing about him? Is it the maintenance of the knees and his body, or are we just gonna roll him out there and say we got a four-year guy and we'll move on?
I think that's what you do. You roll him out there and say, we've got a 4-year guy. Let's see what we can get out of 4 years as a third-round pick. It's pretty inexpensive. And especially, Derrick Henry, no one has carried the ball more than Derrick Henry in the last 5 years. And Tyjae is very different, a very, very different type of player. We're talking home run speed. So I think the idea even is a little bit of maintenance. Maybe we don't have to give Derrick 300 carries next year. Maybe, we can start to balance this and try to extend Henry's career, so this is a good thing for Derrick Henry as well. And also, what Tyjae can do as a pass catcher is really different than anyone else on this Titans roster. He is a natural pass catcher. He's got very good hands. You're going to be able to get him in space to make plays and start to set things up for the check down, for the screen game. You've got an offensive line now that's got some dudes who can move. And as much as I liked Hassan Haskins at Michigan, Tyjae is a similar type of receiver, but faster. So you're getting that, you're keeping that screen game element, a little bit of the angle passing game element, but you're getting so much more speed at the position.
Yeah, in terms of production too, Tyjae Spears really, burst onto the scene out of Tulane last year. The last 8 games, he averaged 8.4 yards per carry. He was killing it.
Absolutely, yeah, and like you said, he did it against USC.
Yeah.
So I know people are going to say, oh, it was just Tulane. No, he did it in the bowl game against USC, and they just had a defensive end go in the second round. So he had a great Senior Bowl week. That is the other thing. I will vouch for that, having watched him in person. And he wasn't my favorite running back there. Chase Brown and Roschon Johnson were just stood out to me a little bit more because of the environment that you put in and some of the drills that you do. But Tyjae had a great week there as well.
The tight end. We know his size. We know he can catch the ball. He can move away from guys. But in this system, in the Titan system, where you're asked to block a little bit more, maybe do a couple other things, can you see this out of how you say his last name? Wiley?
Wiley.
Yeah, Josh Wiley.
Yep.
Yeah, so I would say he's not always a natural pass catcher. That's the
okay.
Thing. It's sometimes it looks like he wants to fight the ball instead of catch it, and that's why he's available in the 5th round. But Chig is the dude. He had a great year last year. I think you could build on that. And Wiley can almost become like your Delaney Walker, like a move tight end, a little bit of an H-back, can maybe play a little bit of fullback. So to me, he's not an inline guy. He's not big enough to be an inline blocker. He's just lanky as hell. So you're probably going to get him on the move a lot more. But at 6'7", get him, find his soft zones, get him in the red zone, let him be a box out player. That's more his role as opposed to, okay, you're going to line up next to the right tackle and we're going to run power right over you. That's not who he is. So you're going to want to move him in space. And even as a blocker, getting him on the move is a lot better than getting him out of a 3-point stance.
Delaney Walker caught a bunch of balls. He was the Titans' leading receiver.
Yeah, but Matt, you're right. Like they would move him into the backfield, and I've seen people list Wiley as a tight end / fullback. So maybe some.
I did. Yep.
Yeah, you did. Okay, there you go. Rand Carthon and Mike Vrabel keep talking about they want players that can do multiple things. So that guy falls right in line with that idea. Matt Miller with us at NFL Draft Scout at ESPN, NFL Draft Analyst and Insider. He likes sweet tea. Jalen Duncan in the 6th round. You have graded higher than Tyjae Spears, who the Titans got in the 3rd round. What is it about Jalen Duncan? Were you surprised that he slid that far?
I'm shocked, and he's one of the guys I have a note to ask, like, what happened? Why did he slide to the 6th round? What happened? And even I was on the desk Saturday, so I didn't have that time to report and be like, hey, I had this guy as a 3rd round pick. Go back and look at 2 early mock drafts. You're going to find his name in the 1st round of some of them. He was highly regarded because he's so athletic, especially as a run blocker. I mean, the quickness is fantastic. The accuracy on the move is fantastic. So my best guess is there's something injury related that we didn't know about, because there's nothing on his tape that says 6th round at all. And it reminds me a little bit of Trey Smith when he was coming out. Obviously, Trey's issues were known, but he fell to the 6th round, and now he's a stud starter. So with Jalen Duncan, it's we want to find out what the issue is. If it is something, that's manageable, like we talked about with Tyjae Spears, is it manageable, or is it kind of a wait and see if he can get out on the field and deal with it? But man, his tape is it's 3 rounds better than where he was drafted.
Is there any truth to the rumors of poor competitiveness? Maybe, is that how you put it?
I think that's a very nice way to put it.
Okay.
I would say
does he have dog
that
in him?
Shows up.
Yeah.
That shows up sometimes. Not as egregiously as some of the other offensive linemen in this class. And I always feel like with offensive linemen, it's always, they take some plays off or they're soft. And with defensive linemen, it's always, their motor doesn't go hard. They don't, there's not a lot of effort. You hear that about every pass rusher every year. So I think that that's something that can be coached. I would rather draft a 6'6", 305-pound tackle who can move and say, hey, if you want to get on the field, you're going to have to toughen up a little bit, as opposed to drafting someone that's undersized or short-armed or slow. You can't overcome that. There are limitations. So I think that's where someone like with Duncan, all right, again, we go back to the Vrabel stuff. You've got a coach that's going to pull – he's either going to pull it out of him or he's going to send him on his way. And in the 6th round, you can do that. Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about Colton Dowell from UT Martin, local kid here from Middle Tennessee?
The only thing I knew about him was that he was super, super productive and that he's very fast. So that was as deep as my my scouting report went on him. Even when his name popped up on the screen, I was like, Colton Dowell. And you're trying to remember the 5 or 6 notes you had on yourself.
Yeah.
For yourself on a player, but 6'3", 215, can run and was productive. Smaller school, obviously, but I think at this point in the draft, you're talking about traits. It's just, let's draft those traits. It's the same thing with Duncan. Let's just draft these traits and see what we can turn it into. I'm reading my notes right now. Wasn't super tough at the point of attack, and took too many false steps. So he's got to clean up his routes.
Okay.
And you can do that though, right? I mean, 6'3", 215, and can run. All right, he's got to become a better route runner. You kind of expect that coming out of a smaller school.
It's kind of a cool story, too, because obviously he played high school football here at Wilson Central High School in Lebanon. But Yeah, one of the new Titans coaches on the offensive line was at UT Martin, and he talked to him before the draft. He said, then he told us that he had a couple of undrafted free agent deals going, and then got the call from the Titans. So kind of a cool, and that's the team he grew up loving. So that's kind of a cool story. But yeah, I didn't know if you knew much about him. But yeah, very good.
Yeah,
man, great information. Always appreciate the visits, Matt. Really appreciate it.
Likewise, I swear, one of these days I'm going to make it to Nashville. Yep. We're going to do this in person.
Yeah.
Yes.
With no sweet tea. We'll have something good in the cups.
Oh, we'll just add a little something to that sweet tea.
There we
That's
go.
how we roll here.
Nice.
At NFL Draft Scout Matt Miller.
Matt.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
All right. There he is.
Hey, let me add something to that about the Tajay Spears thing. When you start talking about maintenance, I think a lot of players go through it. A lot of them go through it in the latter part of your career. I went through it as far as the cartilage, trying to build it back. I didn't have to deal with the ACL part of it, but I did recover from ACL. And I do know when you get through in these combines and things of that nature, when they pick you apart, like, I went into my, I think, eighth season, and the doctor told me when I went to go do my physical, like, you got cartilage as thin as a sheet of paper.
Oof.
It was like it could be over at any minute. So he was like, you got to do maintenance on your own before going to these teams, and, it's the proper way to work out is you got to keep your weight under control. You got to keep your quads and everything as strong as possible to protect it. Also, they had something when I was in Portugal, like they would kind of shoot you up where it would help. It was I forgot the injection that helps you build cartilage. So I would do that like once a month. And you could actually see the cartilage building back, but you had to stay on top of it. So it is ways to do that. I did go through that part, and I played 6 more years. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When they were thinking like it's over, and I played at a high level. So it can be done. You just gotta take care of it.
And did you feel it?
No, so
you know what I mean. Like, did you know that was happening in your knee?
I didn't. But it was like you don't feel it right now. But I do remember having to ice a lot, and you could see on the X-ray, like it was like I don't even know what I was doing. Yeah, it was almost bone on bone.
Bone to bone, yeah.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool to watch the cartilage build back up though, and the way you strengthen around your knee is so important.
All right, some more info on Tajay Spears when we come back. Stay tuned. 3HL, presented by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, springhillac.com. Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle, whether you're looking for a new or pre-owned car, truck, SUV, or Jeep. These guys have you covered. Tons of Jeeps on the lot right now. The inventory there is great. You can check them out online, GuptonMotors.com. Whether you need something different, just want to change it up. Maybe you need something bigger. Maybe you need something more reliable. Maybe repair bills are getting to you. Maybe the mileage is up on your vehicle. They're going to be able to help you out. Just go see Daniel Gupton, the guys at Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Ask your questions. They will have your answers for you. There will be no pressure on you at all because they simply want what you want, you and the vehicle that's right for you. So take your test drive, go inside. They will help make the numbers work, and it will be that easy. I've bought multiple vehicles from these guys. They are phenomenal people. 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee. Take 24 West toward Clarksville. Exit 35, straight shot into the best car buying experience you've ever had. GuptonMotors.com. That's Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
Everything is changing fast these days, and usually that can be a great thing. Look at how we consume information and are able to get information. Look at how we pull up movies and watch them nowadays. Well, now there is the Xfinity 10G network, which means all those things I mentioned, you can do really fast and easy. The fastest internet with faster speeds rolling out every day, an internet that can power a house full of devices all at once with ultra low lag. So one person can stream that movie from their room. Another can play video games in their room while maybe mom or dad sits in the kitchen and works online. It's the next generation 10G network only from Xfinity. The future starts now. definitely helps our household, our busy, crazy household. It can help yours too. Now through June 21st, new customers get 200 megabit internet with up to 10 times faster upload speeds on the next generation Xfinity 10G network for just $35 a month for 2 years. No annual contract. Go to Xfinity.com/10G or call 1-800-XFINITY. Or just go visit a store today. Does require paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Taxes and fees extra after promo. Regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
3HL 1045 The Zone. Brett Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay.
Yes, sir.
Dawn will be on assignment tomorrow,
Yes.
Assignment.
but she'll be back on Friday.
Yes.
And I was like, who does that? Who takes Thursday off and then comes back on Friday? Just take the weekend, man.
Okay. See y'all Monday.
You gotta tell her.
I mean,
Don't do that to me, Don.
yeah, I really
Do
want
not
Mayor
do that
gave
to
me
me, Don.
permission.
I really
don't
want you to
care.
be here. That was me saying, oh, feel free to do it, but don't do it. We need you here. What about Taylor
It
Swift?
is a good point.
Y'all going to Taylor Swift this weekend?
Oh my gosh.
Don, by the way, I do have an announcement for you, by the way.
What?
Announcements are presented by your mom and them.
I've been contacted by the city of Cross Plains.
Come on, baby.
Cross Plains,
Come on,
Carlos Groves.
Come on, baby.
And they said that they can possibly set up a one-day crossing guard session for you.
And we are in now.
I mean,
We in now.
how perfect is that? Crossing guard and Cross Plains.
Isn't
We are
Cross
in now.
Plains like 2 hours away?
No, it's like 40
hour.
minutes up the
Yeah.
road.
Mhm.
It's right before the border.
At least I didn't say Fayetteville. That's at least it's a little closer than that.
Well,
Fayetteville.
right,
Tennessee.
you know what?
Yeah,
we can,
Lord,
we
I'm
can
right.
go play some poker or something right there on the border
It
after we
sound like a
crossing
trip.
guard.
It sounds like a great trip
Yeah,
to me.
so I have contact, and they said that they know the guy that the crossing guards check into, and that they will contact them.
I've got
Okay.
a guy.
Let's go.
Got a guy.
I got a guy. There you go, hunk.
There
Hey,
you
good
go.
job, Joe. Joe Heasy back in the Heasy.
There you go,
boom.
city of Brentwood.
Take
Eat
that.
that.
Whoa.
You said take that. I said
eat
eat
that.
that.
Well, she's just setting up city rivalries, too, like
Yeah,
Cross Plains
that's
versus
right.
Brentwood now.
It's
That's
going down,
right.
baby. It's going down for real.
Well, that's 2 comments about Brentwood today.
What's that one?
Oh, I will comment every day.
Coach.
about
Colton
Brentwood
Dowell's over here
codes.
throwing shade to Lebanon.
Yeah, that's
baby.
right.
I had started the beef. I know what it mean up there.
Taking down Lebanon High School.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get within 20 of them.
That was major.
They ain't bragging if
He
it's
said
true.
it so
Matter of factly.
sweetly, too.
Like,
you know?
but kind of like, man,
he's
y'all.
so nice.
Yeah, don't even ask me that.
I mean,
really.
honestly, like I don't even think that they weren't ever even within 20.
He really wanted to say they really wasn't nothing.
But he was,
bunch of
he was
names.
nice.
They're not within 20. That means he didn't play in the fourth quarter. That's what he's
Yeah.
trying to
Probably.
say.
Yep.
I think
That's
he
what
had
he
3
should've
catches,
said.
like 155 yards in one game.
jeez.
Yeah, wow.
It's
That's
ridiculous.
like you. Those are like Slade tight end stat
Yeah,
lines.
buddy.
Right.
He probably led the state for a little second. Just somebody else came.
Slade just ran to the end zone. Throw it up.
Yeah, I'm out of here. Like a bear chasing me.
By the way, we did see the video of the high school principal meets a bear.
Dude, that's
Can
crazy.
you describe that?
So the high school principal, it was like he heard a bear was out there, and he went to the dumpster,
Like a back alley behind the school.
yep, and tried to let the lid up, and the bear poked his head out.
And
So they were
jumped out.
face to face. Yeah, he jumped out. The bear ran one way, he ran the other way. See, that me and that bear would be on the same page.
See, the principal had a big stick too, and this is an error in his game plan here. He dropped the stick and took
Yeah.
off running.
Yep, that's
You got to
right,
keep
yeah.
the stick in your hand.
Yeah.
Anything's a weapon when confronted with a bear.
You better believe it.
This was in West Virginia too, where weird things happen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I ain't
Oh,
jumping on that.
yeah.
And what I didn't see
I mean,
him
that
do,
easily could have been a cocaine bear in
shout
West
out
Virginia.
to Greg that called yesterday. What he didn't do is stand up and make loud noises at the bear. He just got on politely out of the way. That's what I'm going to do.
If we go on a hike in the Smoky Mountains, you're going to be so loud just walking up the trail.
Now, who's going on a hike? That's the first thing we
Come on, baby.
never
Get
hiking.
along with nature.
By the way, if you hear something in a dumpster, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not going to open it to let it out.
That is what he did.
Like, how did we miss that part of it?
Well, the bear
figured
was
it out.
coming out anyway. I mean, it was you want to go keep it in there.
I wonder what
It's
he
like
got in
the
there.
woods in the back of my house. Like you hear stuff back there all the time. I don't want to know what it is. I don't want to see
I heard
it.
some rustling back there. I
I'm telling you.
think it was like a little fox or something.
Yeah, there
Could've
are
been a deer.
foxes. I don't know. It's a little chilly for deer.
It is, well, Babsy deers,
Yeah.
but the sleigh deers are out. You know what's out and wild? These turkeys. Where these turkeys come from? Dude, and they just come on across the street like they ain't got no regard to cars.
Yeah, just run them over, dude.
There was like 4 of them.
No, don't run them over.
What? You're gonna like swerve to miss a turkey or wreck your car and endanger yourself and other people?
Not close to Thanksgiving, Euro.
You know what else is out? The birds and the baby birds. I've got 7 nests in my pavilion.
See, all these baby birds, and you hardly ever see dead birds. It's a problem.
Know what else is out? We are.
Hey, real quick, Tyjae Spears' last 3 games, 35 carries, 181 yards, 2 touchdowns at Cincinnati. Against Central Florida, 22 for 199 and a touchdown. And against USC in the bowl game, 17 carries, 205 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
And this is with the team knowing they got to stop them.
That's pretty good.
Coming up tomorrow, Greg Cosell evaluates the Titans draft class. Big Savagery talks about short-armed offensive lineman, and Brandon Alley from S2.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Get a clear vision of what the S2 is.
At 3HL1045 on Twitter. Good night. God bless. What's coming up? Huh?
That would be the 3HL After Party, brought to you by Awaken 180.
And they are.
See ya.
They know.
What's happening, good people? Listen here, man. The parlay has arrived. You made it to the end of the show, so you get some of it. You want it? You got it. Superbook Sports.
Got to get signed up first. The Superbook Sports app. Get it where you get your apps, or visit superbook.com to wager and win today. You going NBA, you going NHL, you going a combo?
I'm going a combo, Euro. So let's go and get the NBA and the hockey one out of the way first. New Jersey Devils and Carolina Hurricanes, money line. Take it. Edmonton Oilers, Vegas Knights, money line. Edmonton Oilers. The 76ers versus the Celtics. Under 216. Y'all take that to get you plus 574. You can book that right there. But then you got a baseball parlay.
Uh-oh.
Cubs and the Nationals, take the Cubs money line. Guardians and the Yankees, take the Yankees plus 1.5. Orioles versus Royals, take the money line Orioles. The Angels versus the Cardinals, take the money line Angels. Brewers versus Rockies, take Colorado Rockies plus 1.5. Braves versus the Marlins, take the Braves money line. That's going to get you plus 1961. That's a bankroll.
What a great year.
1961.
All right, I'm going to listen to you.
Let's do it. We won last night, baby. It ain't stopping us now.
What do you do?